right, all right, all right. Always right. God dang it. Let's talk about this always right. Goddamn assessment on this fight. Always right, always on point. And like I said, there's a reason why I knew not to call this damn fight because it panned out just like I said. Even from Jaron Ennis getting hurt, getting hurt, what would cause him to get hurt, how he would recover from that shit and go on to mop the floor with Zayas's ass, whoop his goddamn ass. And so it's just not me yapping. And then I want to go into the comments because it was a damn Zayas goddamn Puerto Rican fan. And all throughout this fight, Puerto Rican this, Puerto Rican that. How about Puerto Potty? Puerto Potty Zayas, goddamn, all this Puerto Rican talk. God damn it, it's black talk. Black America versus Puerto Rican. That's what it was. Kick his ass. Kick his ass like I said he would. And like I've been saying, because I forget the first people I think I hear with Xander Zayas talk may have been over on Cal channel. I think I always remember the people talking about Zayas was Cal and DJ. They'll talk about Zayas. And I was just like, I just don't see nothing. I know Zayas came in the game as a very young dude. I think he might have been 17 or 18 when he came in the game. He was part of the top rank feeder mill system where they build these guys up, make them look incredible against these opponents. And I just wasn't getting that off of Zayas. And especially in this matchup, there's so much that Jaron does in the ring that I just don't think Zayas has the ability to adjust against it. I don't think Zayas has the ability to keep the tempo that Ennis can, maintain throughout the fight. I just don't see him having that. I don't see the power from Zayas, none of that shit. But here was a Puerto Rican fan who wrote his comments an hour ago. I made this video 4 hours ago. This guy says, wow, says, you are boring. Says, leave this energy to after the fight. Says, y'all keep counting Zayas out. Says, y'all in for a surprise. And he laughs about it. But this guy would not respond to his comments of coming over here and running his dog-filled Puerto potty mouth. But let's go into my statements, and I want to go into this ass whooping. Like I said, what this fight would look like, this fight was going to turn out like Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence, and that's exactly what we got. That's why I knew not to call the fight. I knew there'd be a moment. Zayas to have a moment, except Ennis didn't go down from the shot. He got hurt. He recovered, fought properly in it. He still was making some mistakes, but he fought properly while hurt. And Zayas couldn't do anything. Why? Because Zayas can't punch. But here we go.
All right. What's up, folks? Man, let me give my assessment of this fight that's coming on tonight.
Always right, homie.
Ennis versus Xander Zayas. And people asking, am I going to do the play-by-play for this fight? I highly doubt it. I think boxing's in a place to where it's not even entertaining.
Facts.
To me, it's not even worth me giving my time to. Facts. I've been enjoying the other sports that I've been watched in a while, being football and basketball, and maybe looking at older fights. But in present day, man, this mess is trash. You got too many promoters, one to be superstars, them being too bigger than the actual sport, bigger than the athletes that compete in it. The athletes are trash. These athletes believe they deserve Floyd Mayweather money. They ain't earn anything. Half of them ain't champions. Half of them just got a little bit of notice to their names, and the list goes on. It ain't even worth watching. The matchups are trash. The people who hold titles are trash. And then this one going on tonight between Jaron Ennis and Xander Zayas, like you see in here, man, I got Xander Zayas as a mop.
Peep this awesome, incredible breakdown of what was going to transpire in this fight. Man, it's like nigga Nostradamus to this motherfucker. Peep this.
And that's exactly what Boots is about to do to him. I've heard people speak about Xander years ago, and I used to always sit and like say to myself, like, what the hell do they see in this dude? Like, this dude ain't that good. And even in the last fight where he fought this African dude, an African dude came in with a Terrence Crawford type style and stuff. He didn't have the footwork and mobility cutting the ring off as a Crawford would have, but his offensive style and all that, which gave Xander issues, has Xander moving all around that ring. He faced difficulty in that, and I think the scorecards is trash in that. And this one, Boots is gonna wash this dude Xander Zayas.
Facts.
It's
Always
gonna
right,
be a
Reggie.
one-sided A-whoop. It's gonna look like Crawford versus Spence.
Always right.
And therefore, I don't find no need to covering that. I just don't think it's gonna be competitive. I don't see much with Xander. Can Xander possibly catch Boots? Absolutely. Boots sometimes plays around. Sometimes Boots
Facts
becomes bored in the fight. Sometimes he becomes defensively very responsible. But is Xander going to be able to pull the trigger? Will he pull the trigger? Who knows? But I don't see him giving Boots any issues. Even if he's the rock Boots and doesn't shut the lights off on Boots, Boots can probably get up, recover from that. And
always goddamn right, homie. With your boy. With your boy.
Go on and just mop the floor with this dude. And he may end up stopping him. So I just got it as a one-sided butt kicking. It's going to be Crawford versus Spence, 0.2. But that's all I got. Or, well, I'm saying 0.2, 2.0. That's all I got. Catch you on the next one. And I will be doing a post-fight, recap on that fight. But that's all I got. Peace.
That's me from 4 hours ago, and we right now doing a post-fight. Always right with your boy. Going into this fight, I see comments in there talking about it was a good fight. Zayas did better than they thought. Zayas ain't do shit. Zayas gave you what was it? Fourth round? Third round? When was the round that he rocked Boots? And then it was arguable if Zayas even won that fucking round. He may have gave him the round, but Boots is still firing back on his ass, dogging him still while hurt. That's about the only round Zayas gave y'all any goddamn thing. Boots skull drug this motherfucker. And y'all in here writing, well, he gave him a good third round. Well, I mean, he hurt him and he didn't do shit when he had him hurt. Boots in there slipping, rolling around shots, binging this motherfucker. That y'all looking for hope of just giving this dude any type of fucking credit for just the most minimal shit. And it's the same thing I was listening in the post fight from Chris Mannix of showing grace and highlighting Xander like he did something incredible. I mean, how did you dig about how did you battle your way through all that adversity and this and that? Man, get the fuck out of here, you nerd ass sports writing bozo. He didn't give him trouble at shit. And it was exactly what I say, how Boots, the only chance Xander will have in this fight is from Boots getting relaxed. Boots getting these moments to where he doing too much and styling on the fighter, he gets lazy. What does Boots say in this post-fight? He got a little bit lazy. He ended up getting a little lazy, laid there, fighting on the inside, gets caught with a punch. I say sometimes Boots gets to playing around too much. Boots was doing that shit. Boots hit the dude with a nice jab, raised his arm up like this. No, he rolled one of them right hands in there and then rolls his hand back like Emmanuel Burton used to do. The fool used to do the drunken master style and shit. Boots did a tribute to him, throwing that kind of shit and then playing with Zayas. He liked to play it around, especially when he's just flowing. Everything's just kicking on all cylinders. The opponent is easy work. From the first round, from the fact that this, how I knew the fight was over with. When they get to talking, he from Puerto Rico, that Puerto Rico shit don't mean you're going to win shit. Get the fuck out of here. Puerto Rico fighters haven't been good since the goddamn 80s. Outside of, I got to give the props to the OG, Francis Aquino. But the smaller dudes out of Puerto Rico ain't been doing shit. I don't know why these damn white-ass promoters love highlighting this shit. These white promoters stay doing that shit. These white commentary dudes stay doing that shit. This is the Black American motherfucking sport here. And they did all this Puerto Rican talk, and that's going to be the highlight of that shit. Puerto Rico, he Puerto Rican this, Puerto Rican that. Well, it's a black motherfucker from America he going against who going to whoop his goddamn ass. They don't want to highlight what Boots is. He from Philadelphia. Get the fuck out. Don't even from Philadelphia, you white-ass goddamn promoters recognize a movie character. Rocket. The fuck out of here. So they highlight that shit. Then they in here talking this defeatist ass bullshit. That's how I knew he was gonna get his ass whooped. They get to talking. Well, they try to give a little more victory to Zayas. He didn't even have to take the fight, but he got a lot of heart for taking the fight. He got 2 belts. He's a fucking champion. That just shows how whack boxing is. That these champions ain't shit. that they gonna talk about Zayas got a lot of heart. He a warrior because he gonna take on Boots Ennis. Nigga, he a champion. What the fuck are you touching belts for if you're not ready for somebody or you got heart and courage to take on somebody? Like, get the fuck out of here. That's why I refuse to jump on this bitch to disturb what I got going on to rush for boxing. It used to be before I go rush to a boxing match. I can have a bitch lined up. If it's a good boxing match, hey, baby, you going to have to wait or you that much on me, you can come watch the fucking fight with me, but we watching the fight. Nowadays, shit, man, ain't about to disturb shit to motherfucking go watch a boxing match. Hell fucking no. Like I said, one-sided ass whooping in effect. They in here crowning this dude for taking on Jaron Boots Ennis. Get the fuck out of here. He's moving up. He gonna move up to the next division. He gonna move up to 160 and get his ass whooped. And he is lucky as fuck that he is lucky as fuck that his team jumped in to stop that fight. Because that dude could have been set back in his career had they let that fight go. But Doc was gonna save him though. Harvey Doc was gonna save him, but he took a brutal ass whoop. I mean, this dude was hitting this dude to the body, and they're bashing his skull with punches. I mean, yeah, this shit was easy as fuck, homie. And some of you fools who just want to give any highlight to shit talking about Zayas made it a dog. No, he didn't. He got his ass whooped. Zayas only looked good when Boots was hurt and still didn't pull out the motherfucking fight. Like, get the fuck out of here. Agent Matt says, fight of the year so far. Nigga, please. One-sided ass whooping of the year. That's about it. Says, shout out to Zayas. Says, for an epic round 3. Yeah, it's about it. An epic round 3. That nigga took 6 rounds of getting his ass whooped. Well, really 7 rounds because Boots is still tagging him in that fucking round 3. And in Midtown says, why you ain't called the fight? And you didn't heard why I said I ain't called the fight. My prediction gave everything I knew was going to happen in this shit. I don't rock with that motherfucker from Puerto Rico and he from China, he from Mexico, and he look Italian and Irish and shit. He from Spain, and man, fuck all that shit. Them fools ain't about to get no credit for me. So I just knew Boots was gonna whoop his ass. It's just Zayas versus a Black American fighting style and a fluid Black American fighting style. He wasn't gonna defeat that shit. And not only that, Boots, because some of the Black American fighting style gets this thing about they move and run too much. Jaron Boots Ennis goes out here and tries to destroy his fucking opponents. He goes to put pain on his goddamn opponents. And Zayas doesn't have the movement to keep Boots away from him or make it hard for Boots to land on him. Zayas don't have that shit. You got 2 mixed ass left feet. And then First VX says to Midtown says he be out his mind. Says this channel about to be casual boxing conversation with Reggie Owens. No expert. No, it should be always right boxing conversations with Reggie Owens. I ought to change it to that shit. And then Philip A says take that suit off. Oh, he says take that suit off. Nigga says you always fucking late. Says doing your stream. Says you always fucking late doing your stream. Damn, man, because I be doing other shit. Y'all move the time back. You know how you black folks is. You was probably gonna be late in this mug anyway. So I helped you out moving the time back. And then Philip A says, goddamn Reg, goddamn Reg, you pissing me off. Says it was a decent fight. Says, and this nigga sitting over eating fucking candy bars. Damn, this fool is just mad as shit. I'm glad y'all over here though. And he says that means 15 more minutes. Yes, when I say starting in 5 minutes, color people time. Aaron Parker in the building. Salute, my brother. SF City Slicker says Boots put Boots to ass on Zayas. Says, but Boots almost fucked it up. Says playing with his food. I knew he was gonna do that shit. Boots has a tendency of doing that shit. Boots has a tendency of not listening to his father, of not listening to his corner. Boots getting there to do his own thing. But the one thing that I like that Boots explained, even with his team, when he dropped Zayas in the first round, I'm talking about he's whooping Zayas' ass. This is gonna be an easy fight. Zayas gets dropped in the first round. They like, why you didn't go for the knockout? Like Boots and them saying, this is the one thing that is good in the training of Boots is that they don't go in there trying to look for knockouts and rushing knockouts. Just let shit build. Just let it build. Break the opponent down. Don't get caught with anything rushing in there. Because one of the worst things that I've seen in watching fights for so goddamn long is a person, when you get a motherfucker hurt and a fool going there rushing in, thinking this opponent doesn't have the ability to throw back and get your ass caught with some shit. And now the fight is over for you. That's the most heartbreaking shit ever. And the mirror says, what up, Reg and everybody? Says, love this boxing game, man. Man, I wish they got some better fucking fighters in there. I wish there's better fighters. Now, the one fight, this fight don't do nothing for Ennis. I ain't think nothing of the Zayas do. The Fedor shit, Boots can probably prove some shit if that's the fight they need to make. That's the fight they need to make, and that's the fight that propels Boots in this forward. Boots going in there, if he can destroy fucking Sebastian Fedor, who Sebastian Fedor got the track record of fucking people up. That's the fight that proves shit for Boots, not the Zayas shit. He went in there and did his thing. He came, he saw, he conquered, and he whooped this dude ass. Boots did exactly what he was supposed to do against Zayas, a weak champion. A dude, and then, like I say, a lot of these dudes is champions. That shit don't mean shit. Man, poop butt ass champion. All they can highlight, he from Puerto Rico. Man, I give a fuck about that. And they're from Puerto Potty. He ain't from Puerto Rico. He don't even look Puerto Rican and shit. And then First BX says they got all Ricky Martinez. What's that? No, Ricky Martin ass hair color and shit. First BX says, Vila Loca motherfucking. And he says you bragging about not calling the fight. Says shaking my head. Says I don't know what boxing fans want. It says and the SS says salute to Mir. And the SF says Boots got hurt in the third and fourth. Says but there's levels to this shit. Even in the fourth round, he was still whooping Zayas' ass. That was Zayas like third. Yeah, maybe he took third. Fourth round, competitive. Boots still regaining himself. Boots still won the third round. Then from on there, he just separated himself and beat this dude ass. When the fifth round, uppercut that nigga. The doctors had to talk to Zayas. Harvey Doc had to say, hey, Zayas, you over getting fucked up on me. I'm about to stop this shit, man. You want to go to 160, right? You want to make the 160? I'm going to save you, goddammit. You're going to take a loss on your record. You'll get your first loss. I got to save you. I don't know what these damn Puerto Rican coaches doing over here, sitting here watching you get your ass whooped. They should have just waved it off. I shouldn't even be coming here talking. I should be going over here, looking at the crowd, doing this shit, telling this nigga did a no mas. It just saved his career. But he had to go out there, re-get his ass whooped. He didn't want to get up. Even it was one of the uppercut one. That fool took all 9 seconds to start getting on his damn feet. Harvey Doc should have counted him out. Said, "Nigga, you ain't up at 10. Then he went into that other one. He wasn't going to get up for that third knockdown either. Motherfucker got knocked out in the first. He got knocked down in the fifth, knocked down in the seventh. Imagine if that should have went 9. That fool would have been on a stretcher. And then JA says, shit was a good fight. It was good if you're a Boots fan to watch Boots whoop this fool fucking ass. The punches was good. That's what made a good fight. The punches you watch Boots hit this fool with. That was the good part of this shit. Boots is hitting that motherfucker with kitchen sinks, hitting them with the dishes and that shit. Hell, he pulled the dishwasher out and hit Zayas with that shit. He washed this fool. And then Jay says, Boots got to get Ortiz. Fuck no. Ortiz need to retire. Ortiz gonna fight Xander Zayas next. What's that fool name? Virgil Ortiz is the biggest disappointment in fucking boxing. He the biggest disappointment in Mexican boxing. The hell with Virgil Ortiz. That nigga been ducking people so goddamn long, so goddamn often. The nigga's sick every time you look. Hell nah. Virgil Ortiz need to go back to 147. Boots, don't fight Virgil Ortiz. There ain't no value in that nigga. You go fight Sebastian Fedor. That will make you look spectacular. Be fighting this big 6'7" ass skinny fool who been whooping everybody fucking ass. That's a dangerous fight because if Boots play, because Sebastian can hit. Sebastian can punch. And Boots fall asleep on that nigga. Boots definitely gonna probably hit the canvas, but Boots is a fool who's a good body puncher. He gonna hit Fedor where a lot of other people don't hit him at. That's to the fucking body. And we'll see if he can break him. But that Fedor motherfucker is tough, homie. He is a tough motherfucker. He a glasses wearing motherfucker who you better punch. He says Boots got to get fuck Virgil Ortiz. In Midtown, laughing at First BX's last comment. Andrew Charles says, way better fight than I thought. Said than I thought it'd be. The fuck you thought? What kind? You thought the fight's gonna be good? Man, you crazy as shit. That motherfucking fight, y'all better go rewatch that shit. Shit was an embarrassment. Them Puerto Ricans in New York was quiet as fuck. That's how bad the fight was. The Philadelphia blacks start cheering in that New York crowd. Man, shit was bad. And they're catering frijoles and shit. And them fools was not cheering shit. They didn't cheer from when the bell rung. I didn't even think they was cheering when Xander hurt the fool. I heard black Philly motherfucker. That's why they was playing Philly music in that shit. And the Midtown says, was a good fight. Says both guys got hurt. Says good night about both guys got hurt. Yeah, sure. They both got hurt. No, one got a slight grazing. His wound was a slight graze. This other motherfucker got bombed. That motherfucker, Xander got his ass whooped. Jaron Ennis hit the canvas once. Xander hit the canvas 3 times, got his ass skull drug around that motherfucking ring. That shit was a one-sided good ass whooping. I enjoyed the shit because it went just to the T of how I said this shit was gonna go. He whooped that motherfucker ass from pillar to goddamn post and put him in the porta potty. And then Andrew Charles says Zayas rally after the knockdown, says the hurt boots. And this is Andrew Charles going off a rally. Yeah, Klan rally. All right, goddamn it. Yeah, you in the Klan rally and shit. That Puerto Rican dude got his ass whooped. You probably want to do, man, he's Puerto Rico. He gonna do this and that. Yeah, he rally. Yeah, all right. Yeah, Klan rally. And same shit happened with Klan rally. You end up getting foots and burning crosses put up your ass. And then Philip says, man, Boots ain't be nobody special. Yeah, Zayas is nobody special. They try to say Zayas was special because he took on the Jaron Ennis, because he took on Jaron Ennis. Zayas a fucking champion with 2 titles. Fuck you talking about he special for taking that fucking fight. Philip says, yep, says you was right, bro. Always right. And then Jay to Philip says, on God. And then he says that nigga down there 40 fights in, says with no elite names. Yeah, both of them. Zayas ain't got nobody elite. Ennis ain't got nobody elite. And they was hyping that shit up. Like, I was like, man, Boots about to whoop this motherfucker ass. And then Philip H in there laughing. Philip H says, facts to Jay. Jimmy Bernard says, what's good? Salute, my brother. Philip H says, Fendora is a perfect fight for Boots. That's the fight he needs to make. That's the fight they can sell. That's the fight that can be dangerous for Boots, and the fight that Boots can go out there and whoop Fendora ass too, and really make a fucking name for himself. Really make a name for himself. Boots show here that, man, he is classes above a lot of these dudes, and this one does not. That's why I was waiting for some stupid ass fan said, oh, Crawford ain't ready for this, man. Crawford ain't ready. I'm glad nobody has spoken that retarded shit. Anybody who talks that dumbass shit, let you know they don't know shit about boxing. They not true boxing fans. Crawford is retired for once. I'm glad Boots ain't entertaining that shit, but Crawford ain't no fucking Zayas. And then Andrew Charles says Boots is getting pieced up in the middle rounds. This nigga Andrew Charles is just always wrong on shit. Andrew Charles, when it comes to fighting, like all these wars you've been calling and think they're gonna go out this way and they don't, it just showed me you don't know what the fuck you be talking about. God damn. This nigga like a poodle assessor of fightings and shit. He talking about these niggas, man. So you saying this nigga trying to act like this fight was competitive or something. Unless he just don't want to give this black motherfucker his credit. Says Boots is getting pieced up in the middle rounds. What the hell? Says we all have eyes. This is said it happens is okay. Boots still what? Andrew Charles, I don't know what the fuck yo blind mellow jello ass is watching, homie. You must got jury member eyes. That's what this nigga Andrew Charles got. It's common in the community that Andrew Charles come from. This nigga got jury member eyes. Rodney King jury member ass motherfucking eyes. You show that nigga video and no, they innocent. They ain't do it. Philip says since Trinidad talking about Puerto Rico ain't had no good fighters since then. These fools keep talking about Puerto Rico. And guess who whooped the Trinidad train? A black American. Wasn't a black American whooped his ass from Philly too? Another Philly motherfucker. I guess you just can't put the Puerto Ricans in there with Philly blacks. And then they get rolled like Philly blunts and shit. He got rolled up in this motherfucker. And then what y'all be saying? What niggas be saying? He put him in the pack. You all weed head motherfuckers be saying that shit. And Philip says Trinidad was the last Puerto Rican fighter says to be greater good. And then the last Puerto Rican killed the bitch. That's the last dude that was banking on. What's that punk ass dude? Felix Verdejo. He on his rise. He get on a motorcycle and crash that shit in the wall. Then the dumb motherfucker killed a chick he used to know that he fucking around and got pregnant. And they caught his dumb ass on camera. That's what the fuck Verdejo get. I hope they should give Verdejo the fucking death penalty. He should have been executing his stupid ass. And then Asian Man says Miguel Cotto and Miguel Cotto. Yeah, Miguel Cotto. If he's trying, the rest of these fools, they be hyping up like, nah. And the thing is, you gotta look like a Puerto Rican to be any good. That fool Zayas don't look like Puerto Rican. I don't know where the hell I thought Zayas is from. I thought that fool was from Uruguay or some shit. He's showing the hell don't look like Puerto Rican. He don't look like he got no black descent in him, none of that shit. Andrew Charles says Puerto Ricans are proud of their box history. So are blacks, motherfucker. So are blacks. That's why a black motherfucker like me don't watch this shit, because these niggas don't act black no more. Says national pride says it's not a thing in America. No, national pride is a thing. It's just that white people in America have fucked up what national pride is, Andrew Charles. We gonna get deep. This is the shit I love when y'all write this shit, because I'm about as deep as a motherfucking get. I think that's why I'm a West Coast motherfucker. I'm about as deep as that ocean right off the fucking coast. That blacks have a lot of national pride. It's just that whites interfere with that shit. You get all these corrupt piece of shit whites that get voted into representing this country and run it to the dirt, don't have any representation for the people, and they interfere with what blacks have done, the plight of black folks, and therefore you don't get no national pride in this shit. Andrew Charles, but you would know that because you originate from some other damn country. But you land here with your family and you blend in with the rest of the new arrival whites. Like, you don't know what you're talking about hyping up some Puerto Rican national pride, because of the retarded motherfuckers who promote boxing who look white, and the retarded motherfuckers who commentate on boxing who are white nerds, learn to go to school to write papers and talk about everybody's nationalistic pride. They hype up Mexico pride. They hype up Puerto Rico pride. They hype up Argentina pride. Where's that nigga Marcos McDonald's from? They hype up where he from, all this other shit. Blacks have a lot of national pride. It just don't align with the retarded shit that comes up out of white America. Sorry to have to school you on that, but you still my brother Andrew Charles. You just lost, out of touch, and don't know shit about America because you listening to TV reporting motherfuckers, lazy pieces of shit who get privileged into trying to run narratives about what American, what pride is, such as an immigrant baby like Donald Trump, who don't know shit about America, but try to push white talk. America is not a white talk ass country. When you push white talk on American history, you deal with some of the illest and nastiest shit about America. So yeah, there's a lot of national pride in black, not these current age black fighters. These niggas too YouTube entertained and lost in pride. But there's a lot of pride in what black people are. Boxing represents, when you look at the history of boxing, this is a quick lesson to Andrew Charles and the rest of the motherfuckers who believe in the pride of these other motherfuckers. The history of boxing and the historic people, it's nothing but black names painted in that shit. The boxing motherfucking museum should be painted in black. Like, stop the bullshit lying ass narratives about boxing. Today's black fighters don't uphold that shit. These niggas is caught up in the material shit. They have lost on history. The wrong niggas teaching American history. The wrong people teaching the history of black folks. You look up, black niggas is some shit that descended from space. Black niggas is from the damn pyramids. They from the Hebrew shit, and they lying about being indigenous. Like, these niggas is dumb currently, homie. And then nigga 9 says, Reggie says, I saw your new profile pic. Says, and I must say, You look like a sucker. Hey, ass negative. Nah, you a hoe, homie. I wouldn't expect no other comment than the comment you will leave. And then I can't wait to get to Andrew Charles' comments because he's an out of touch white dude, comes here to learn here. That's why Andrew Charles loves to write shit. He loves to write his opinion to learn here, because every time he writes some shit and I break down his opinion, he ain't doing nothing but learning. And that's still my brother. Like I say, I like all people come over here, but I love to see where the way in which, you know, our white counterparts, our white brothers, the way they process shit. And then Philip A says, oh, okay. Says I thought it was gonna be a good fight. Says dudes had me hyped. Says I ain't seen a replay yet. Exactly, Philip H. I knew this shit was gonna be. It was entertaining on the part of Jaron Boots-Ennis, but it was gonna be so one-sided. I was hooting and hollering for Boots, and Boots is whooping this dude ass. Zayas didn't give shit. Zayas is curling up, running, moving around, couldn't figure out shit, couldn't adjust the shit. He got one punch that landed for him, and he didn't do shit with it. And in Midtown said, laugh my ass off. He said, dang, he said, Reggie, critical conversations always. Yes, indeed, man. Because with being critical means you analyze shit. So I am a great analyzer of shit. And the Jay says, nigga, you on here hating like a motherfucker. Never hated, man. Always keeping it real. I know Boxer says Boots look good. Said except when Boots got lacking on defense, says and got caught. And I said that he does that shit. And Boots been doing that shit for a long time. Sometimes, and I said he was gonna get cracked with something. And that's exactly what happened. And in the moments when I'm watching this shit, I'm looking worried, but I'm like, Boots gonna recover. I'm like, this is what the fuck he get, because he does it. She been doing that shit on his come up. And it was one time his dad made him do push-ups in the ring because Boots do that shit. He gets too comfortable. He trying to entertain the fans. He's styling and this and that, because he has a lot of abilities. And he can use that shit against Xander Zayas. They're going to be an opponent that comes around, because there ain't many challenges in boxing. You get some niggas with great talent who going to rub the floor with the rest of these motherfuckers. And that's what Boots going to be able to do, except I want to see what he does against Findor. And he says, wait, did I read that one? Yeah, I read that one. Andrew Charles says he don't call the fights because the zone is expensive. Nah, I won't pay for the zone. I won't pay for a lot of these apps. I would stream this shit, and I can still call the live fight from the apps that I stream from and be delayed and still call the fights based on what we're seeing. But the fights aren't worth it. They ain't worth the pay-per-view price. They ain't worth even me paying for the motherfucking apps that I pay for. And this is the other thing with this shit of where I've always been conscious of how much they push us into consumerism and how we add towards these gaps and who become wealthy in this country. Then it's crazy. I was thinking about this earlier, how so many people, because I was looking at people in like construction projects and all this other shit who actually do all the labor shit. They do all the labor shit, but the people who sitting there on their asses in office, who work the deals, get the contracts, and all the other lazy paper pushing motherfuckers end up with the most income in projects while the people are busting their asses, climbing up shit, actually building shit, receive the lowest of income. And they have to work tremendous amount of hours to even claim they push 6 and 7 figures. Like it's bullshit of how America's structured. America's structured as backwards. America has been lost as America shifts from being public or public sectors being government provided jobs versus us having crooked politicians getting over there and talking to the stupid ass American public and backing the privatization of the American system, allowing low class, low educated, silver spoon pieces of shit to be handed over corporations by America and people buying into you working for corporations. And the corporate world has fucked over America. And the pay structures in America have been fucked over. And the fact that when we create a public sector, then this is a thing that's crime, because all these public sector, this is private sector, meaning corporations. All these private sector employed motherfuckers cry like bitches talking about building a wall, and immigration's taking our jobs is because you shifted towards all this privatization of the motherfucking system, allowing corporation motherfuckers to be handed over to do the work, acting like the government can't do it. And now these same companies are bringing everybody over from the border, act like they don't know how they got here. And that's the reason why you ain't making shit here, because you're a stupid motherfucker. And they develop technology to replace your ass, and they satisfy a bunch of push button, buy, sell, trade this year, this and that, all this gambling shit going on in the American system. And now we wonder why shit is pushed towards a billionaire class, upper millionaire class, like because you niggas dumb and niggas brains don't function like that. But I'm glad when you niggas write shit over here because I'm not the average black motherfucker. I can talk regular player ass shit, but nigga always push this educated shit. And then JA says this the new era of boxing. Says you can't be expecting some old school shit. No, but you can expect some competitive shit. It ain't gotta be old school, it can be competitive. And these dudes ain't being competitive. There's so many wide ass gaps in the matchup of the top talent, it's ridiculous. And then some of these dudes don't want to fight. The top talented dudes don't be want to fight each other and shit. The hell I look like following this shit anymore. Basketball been good as fuck. Football been good as fuck. I can't wait for that shit to start. They got all this soccer shit over here that I ain't about to watch. I'm mad the NBA shit ended. And then Midtown says, okay, says we see you didn't call the fight, says cause you was out eating Wingstop. Oh no. I've been back from Wingstop. And then it ain't no soda here, it's water in here. So yeah, I ain't gonna throw the cup away. I'm gonna use a cup. I'm a ghetto black motherfucker. What do you think I'm bougie? What do you think I'm bougie? I can't pour water, whatever else I got in here. Shit. I'm supposed to throw the cup away and put it in a nice glass. Shit. I'm a hood kid. And then Philip A says before I crown Boots, I gotta see Boots in there, says with a good fighter, with a good damn fighter. And you got to see him in there against Findor or these other cats. And then Boots is just in the right time. Boots is in the right time. He said, yo, real check, man, I wasn't there watching no world soccer for shit. I ain't watching that kickball shit. I don't know nothing about soccer. I've been talking about that shit for the last few weeks about soccer. The first time soccer ain't American shit. I didn't start seeing soccer until, and in mind, many of my Mexican homies I was growing up with who were Mexican American because their mothers and fathers try to whitewash them, giving them white names, wouldn't teach these niggas to talk Spanish and shit. Like mine, I'm 45 and shit. So I'm a nigga that grew up in the 80s in Los Angeles, which is now a city that is predominantly Latino, overnight type shit. When I was coming up, there wasn't many Mexicans. That just shows you how mass migration is. And that shit is crazy with how fast motherfuckers can come in here and repopulate America. There wasn't many Mexicans in there. And especially in the areas that I grew up in, to where when I was coming up as a kid, elementary school, I ain't see no soccer ball. I ain't see a soccer ball until junior high. And we were already having Mexican influx and flow of Mexicans. And this one, Reagan pussy ass the president and did all that amnesty shit. And then so we start getting Mexicans in there. We start getting the buildings for what they call that shit? What's it called? English second ESL or some shit. They start bringing the bungalows in there. And then we used to see these kids who we thought was white kids, because I used to be on the mind. I always been a black conscious ass kid. I used to think like I was a Black Panther. Always push this Black Panther shit. I grew up around in the heart of the Crips. Like I say, I always highlight, I grew up in the hundreds where the Block Crips are at, the UGs and the 111s and 11-5 neighborhoods is the neighbor in the area and section I grew up in with the 9-0s and all that other shit. Then also moms in them had a property in the 8 trades. I went to school in the 107s and with the 11 Deuce Hoovers and all that other shit. That's the heart of Los Angeles where I fucking come from. Growing up, I didn't see soccer balls. And when we start seeing the Mexican kids who came in there who don't look like how indigenous Mexicans look, they look white. These niggas around there kicking the balls, because this is the only thing you used to see in school. We had carom tables. We play caroms, which is like the checkerboard with the stick, like how you play pool. I don't know if you other people, if that's just the LA thing, where you play caroms with the little pieces that you use for the checkerboard, but you shoot them like pool and shit. We had that shit. They had tether balls. The girls did double dutch. They did handball, where you hit with the volleyball, and we played basketball, kickball. And so those only balls you had wasn't no soccer balls. When the Mexican kids start coming in this motherfucker, they in there kicking around the balls we use for handball, because we didn't play volleyball at our schools. The balls we hit on them little tall walls you play handball with. When the Mexican kids start kicking that shit around, While we playing basketball, they looking like, what the hell they kicking the ball for? Hey, what the fuck you do with that shit? Like, that shit was odd to us. Then we go to Henry Clay. Even that Clay, they didn't have soccer balls at the school. The Mexican kids used to bring a soccer ball and be out on the field, running around kicking the ball. And I'm looking like, we all looking like, what the fuck is that? The black kids used to jump in that shit, kick the ball, run around with them. Because at one point, it was conflict with the blacks and Mexicans at school when Prop 187, because they came up with this new proposition in LA dealing with the little Republican governor we had called Prop 187. And then we start seeing the Mexican cats we grew up with walking out on school and protest. They doing their civil rights shit that they learned from us. Protesting, peaceful protesting. The kids in school get up and leave the fucking school and protest all throughout Los Angeles. So I ain't start seeing soccer ball in the 90s, and I didn't get two fucks about it. And then Philip A said, "Lad, my ass off says I was late too, nigga." Yeah, exactly. You always late. You color time, motherfucker. Andrew Charles says, why do you feel you are a racial enemy of the Puerto Ricans? Whoever said I was a racial enemy of the Puerto Ricans? That's how I know you out of touch with shit, Andrew Charles. Rather than Xander Zayas just being a fighter and shit. And Xander Zayas is the person. Xander Zayas as what his career has been. He gets highlighted as a Puerto Rican. But let there have been some commentary dude that highlights Jaron Ennis as being a black man and shit. And being a black fighter, the black American, there would have been an issue with that shit. Jaron Ennis ain't looked at as being the American. He's from Philadelphia. He's a dude from the urban hoods of ghetto-fied Pennsylvania. And he grew up in the hard steel, in the place of struggle. He goes through struggle and all this other stuff. And he's just gritty and rugged like a Philadelphian. Get the fuck out of here. And then Fred Hawthorne says, what is that? Wait, well, let me see. Hold on, let me see the cover of TV. Let me see what you wrote. Says Fred Hawthorne owns you. He says, why did you use AI? Says to make you skinny. Says you know you big. Hey man, that skinny or fat, these hoes still gonna be a track. I'm still gonna track these motherfucking hoes that you can't get. So that fat shit, man, I'm the king of comedy, homie. Like I say, the bigger I am, the more I'm a whaler chick. Big whale dog Reggie. I'm a whaler chick. Jump on top of your girl and wail on her. Woo, shampooing her motherfucking ass. So I don't know what you talking about, man. Being skinny is not it, homie. Put some meat on your motherfucking ass. And then your bitch is heavier than you. I mean, you a bitch will lift you up. And then Fresh BX says there's established dudes that wouldn't fight boots. Xander could have milked them belts, says, or made excuses, and he's younger than them. Says I respect it regardless if I didn't think he would win. Man, I ain't about to give him no brownie points for none of that shit. If that's the case, he should have never touched the belt. And a lot of dudes is running after these titles, knowing they damn not ready. Therefore, if you a champion, that means everybody you look at. That's why some fighters need to slow down, take their time. That the minute you start touching them belts, meaning you've reached a pinnacle in your skills, which I'm about to say abilities and shit. Let me use the word ability. Where you reach a point in your abilities within the fight game and how your team and you assess everything that is out there that you're better than, and you're willing to challenge anything, is the reason why you become a champion. If you not that shit, then you shouldn't be running after these titles. You niggas run at the titles and say, I'm the youngest champ. I've got the title at 18. I became a champion as a 14-year-old. I reigned for this long. I reigned for 5 years and only fought 4 people. Like, get the fuck out of here. This shit is whack. These sanctioning bodies ain't shit. All they do is want your money, the dumbest shit ever. You got to pay a motherfucker for a belt you done won. These sanctioning bodies getting rich off of motherfuckers. They got about 111,000 fucking titles out here. Like, that shit is whack. And therefore, I would not watch a lot of this shit. And then around the world says his father did give him bad advice. Says after the third round, well, they wanted him. Well, the advice wasn't bad. I think you talking about where they said they wanted him going forward. It wasn't wrong. It was Jaron fell asleep on defense. Jaron in there sleeping on defense, underestimating the dude, playing with his food. And then Fred Hawthorne owns you says, Reggie, you are near 400 pounds. Says the AI picture is inaccurate. Says overweight baby daddy. Yeah, goddamn right. Baby daddy, meaning that mean my motherfucking my dick got used, and therefore I fucking made babies without going through in vitro fertilization like a lot of you niggas out here. Ain't touched coochie, scared to look at coochie. A lot of you niggas are about 50-year-old virgins. You niggas are stepdaddies, faking in for the church to act like you ain't a homo and shit, taking over some chick, some old lonely single ass chick that needs y'all trick asses to take care of him, and you playing daddy to some other nigga kids. And then Andrew Charles says Reggie is going down. Reggie is going down the AI rabbit hole. Says it's a shame, man. Reggie ain't going down shit. I'm gonna use AI. Like I say, fuck AI. I'm gonna use AI to make me pictures for fucking thumbnails. Outside of that, I don't use AI for none of that shit. Like I constantly say, for you dumb niggas who memory banks don't fucking allow shit to retain inside your brain, is I hope every AI company and the money put into invest in these companies all burn the fuck away. They all end up as junk. They end up crashing and burning on some .com shit. I can give two fucks about AI companies. None of that shit. If they have programs to create thumbnails outside of me having to pay somebody to make a thumbnail, I'm gonna use AI for that shit. But to study, get answers for it, only retard motherfuckers do that. Are there some uses for AI? For some of you motherfuckers, I think some of you niggas use AI too much. AI thinks for you, AI writes for you. And then Ace Retro says he wasn't playing with his food. Says he was setting up the knockout. And then he got caught, and even he admitted to being lazy when he got caught, because he does that shit. Philip H in there laughing his ass off. Jay in there laughing his ass off. Philip H says, Fred on your head, Rich. Man, Fred would never be on shit. That motherfucker ain't even the man in his house and shit. He can't even get head from his wife. Motherfucker named his wife after dude. Asian Matt says the Vargas fight was on point. I was watching that earlier, but when I left, that's when I was going to Wingstop and shit. So I ended up losing my signal. Vargas was looking good. I was liking the way he was slipping shit. I was worried, and I was trying to get back to that fight because I was wondering if that dude, because the dude looked strong, I was wondering if he was going to catch Vargas. But Vargas looked like, but that's against that opponent. But Vargas is looking nice. Vargas is doing what he's supposed to do. Staying clean, rolling out the way of shit, moving when he needed to move, putting body work in. That was the other thing. That's the beauty of watching that shit, is watching guys that will attack to the body and putting in some great body shots. The dude was strong to the body, but over time, Vargas started bringing them hands down and then opening that nigga face up. So I didn't see the ending to the Vargas fight, but I heard them saying that Vargas won, so I was happy to hear that, won by stoppage. And then Asian Mass says the Vargas fight was on point. First BX says that's what I agree with. Says I'm waiting on that Fedora fight. Yeah, that's the fight for Boots and Eddie Hearn to get made. But watch Eddie Hearn, because like I say, there's a lot of these promoters who think they bigger than the fucking sport, they bigger than their superstar fighters. Is Eddie Hearn gonna step away? And then the other thing, since Matchroom hanging on by fucking threads, AJ is done. AJ, there's one more big fight for Matchroom with AJ, and that's if they can get the Tyson Fury shit, which I don't know why the UK people even want to watch that shit. And then salute the Usyk. I think Eddie Hearn put out some shit during his interview about Usyk dropping the belts, because Usyk about to fight Deontay Wilder. And so Usyk said, but Usyk after that last fight said, fuck this shit. He said, fuck this shit. I ain't about to be staying in this shit too long. I was lucky to beat that goddamn dude in front of the pyramids. See, he got a pyramid curse. See, the pyramids didn't want a bunch of damn white people fighting in front of it. So it was one of them old Hebrew Egyptian-like motherfucking curses flow from out the damn deep tomb of Tut. Flew it out on motherfucking Usyk ass. Said, don't you ever bring your ass over to this goddamn land fighting in front of this shit like some spectacle. And so he got a little bit of that Egyptian curse on him and shit. Even the karate dude that he was fighting and shit. So Usyk got lucky to win that fight. Usyk said, fuck this shit. I'm tired of all this training and shit. Tired of dealing with this shit. Let these young fools, these young niggas is coming up, let them have it. And Dubois can reign supreme in that shit. And he says, what he says, Ace Retro says, Ortiz is the fight to make. Says it should have happened at one. Man, Ortiz is the fight that Ortiz is nothing but a waste of a fight. Ortiz ain't gonna do shit but waste your goddamn time. Ain't Ortiz getting sued by De La Hoya? Or he's suing De La Hoya? One of this shit. If it ain't Floyd in the lawsuit, it's goddamn Oscar ass constantly in the lawsuit. And then it's Virgil Ortiz constantly wasting your goddamn time. Like, you shouldn't fight no Virgil Ortiz. I don't think people in Mexico know who Virgil Ortiz is. Says around the world says Fedor did Doug Zayas. Says Fedor would have beat the dog shit out of Zayas. I think Fedor had other fights beyond Zayas. Fedor would have fucking got arrested for whooping Zayas' ass. He says Fedor gave up his WBO belt. Says instead of fighting Zayas, man, he'd have went to jail for that shit. Says Fedor will get Boots issues. That's what I want to see, because I can see some things that Boots takes advantage against Fedor. But Fedor be whooping ass. That motherfucker be whooping ass. And then Jay Smith in the building, salute. And then is that a relative? Who was Jay Smith? Salute to Jay Smith. And then and the Roller Carter says Kazayas says with the uppercut says with the uppercut from the Lake of Fire. The uppercut was so nice. That motherfucker Zayas almost gave up right then. Zayas almost gave up after that uppercut, because I guess he told Harvey Doc, I'm gonna get up at 9. I'm gonna get up at 9. Doc, I ain't gonna quit. That motherfucker just sitting on his ass like, fuck. This one hurt worse than that first round knockdown. Like, a nigga knocked a dude who's a champion in the first round, whooping his ass. That let that champion know this is gonna be a long, painful fucking night. Asian Matt says Ortiz guarantees a knockout versus Boots. Says time would tell. Man, Ortiz does nothing but waste niggas' time. Jay Smith says Virgil talking smack, says on Twitter now. And Virgil waste of fucking time. Like, he just want to bring attention to his name, attach himself to Jaron Boots Ennis. Jaron shouldn't even entertain it. Jaron should go right after Fedor. And then please don't entertain if Spence is to win against Tim Tszyu, please do not entertain Boots versus no goddamn Earl Spence. Please don't entertain that shit. And then around the world says Reggie will only call Al Heyman fights. Said Laugh Out Loud says he would call the pre-show fight. Says Laugh Out Loud. I mean, I would not call, and I rock with Al Heyman. That's why you don't see me bash Al Heyman, but I do not rock with calling anything from the PBC neither. Absolutely not. That shit is boxing wide of what I won't cover with this shit. Absolutely not. I'd rather cover some of the chicks fights before I cover these fools. I'd rather cover Aiden Ross shit. I'd rather see Crip Mac in them fucking fight. And the hell with these fools. And then the right world says I'm joking. And then but nah, shit, your comment is true, shit. But no, it wasn't true, because I don't rock with just supporting people. Who's over in the PBC? Who's over on Matchroom? Who's over on Top Rank? Who's over on what Match? All these motherfuckers dead. Who's even over on Zuffa? Zuffa ain't shit. And then Andrew Charles says, calm down, bro. Says we get it. Says you picked the winner. Says so did every other person on earth. Yeah, look at Andrew Charles be hating when I be right. And I love throwing that shit in y'all face just because I know it makes y'all mad. And because I'll be right on a lot of shit, and therefore I like to highlight. I just like to highlight the intellectual shit, not cocky, because that's the last thing I am is cocky or arrogant. I'm not. I just like throwing that shit in the face because it pisses people off, especially when you're always wrong. I just think y'all are very bad at assessing shit. I think a lot of y'all critical breakdown and shit is horrible. I think a lot of y'all do shit to lie to kick it. Y'all go with the popular opinion. Y'all want to trend with people. And that's the one thing I stay away from. I don't want to trend. I don't pick favorites. I don't have favoritism in my conscience. None of that shit. So I just love that shit out of playful shit, talking about always right. But I'll be right on a lot of shit. So I'm going to highlight that shit and clown with it, because that's the other thing I like. I'm a jokester, laughy ass person, man. I like to crack jokes, comedy. You don't hear me cry about shit. That shit is out of my system. The complaining, excuse making. I'm accountable for shit. I own up to shit. It's as simple as that. And then in Asian Matt says Ortiz, aka says Disco Duck. Yeah, that's exactly the name for Virgil Ortiz. And Charles says Zayas is better than Ortiz, says by my eyes, or he meant in his eyes. I don't think nothing of neither one of them. They just, a lot of niggas just get pushed on to a lot of fans to be something that they're not. And I don't think Ortiz is that shit. I don't think Zayas is that shit. I don't think even the worst of all of them is that motherfucker who they talking about gonna fight Ryan, the fool Connor Ben. He like the worst of that shit. Ryan, another motherfucker done wasted his career and talents away. Like, it is this doo-doo, homie. It is this doo-doo as fuck. And then everybody making videos because Tank said a word on Twitter. Like, man, get the fuck out of here. And then Around the World says Fundora is too busy fighting the PBC retirement crew. Says Earl and Mel Charlo says are the next fights for Fundora. The Charlos is another sad one. The fucking Earl. It was cool watching Jamal talk, and it came out just what I was looking at with the Jamal shit. I knew something was up between his brother. His brother got his ex-wife trainer. Like, that's some fucked up and foul shit. But it goes back to listening to Jamal talk about how he had to put it behind his head. You gotta be player. You can't let a motherfucker use this and that, or a bitch trying to keep your kids away and use that to tear you down. You gotta be up, because them kids gonna be yours, and kids gonna realize shit is where a bitch gets shit wrong at. And to ruin your career, your ability to make money again, to provide for them kids. Like, I hated to watch that dude go through that shit. I'm like, damn, you too much in love, homie. You need to. That's why it's important for dudes to have a player-ass mindset. Never being ever allowed to a person to use something as a tool to affect you mentally. Like, fuck that. And then they better learn to love their goddamn self. Agent Matt says Erickson Lubin versus Ortiz. Didn't that's who Ortiz fought last, right? And that was a bullshit looking ass fight. Erickson Lubin ain't been shit since Fundora thrashed him and shit. Phil Bay says these dudes watch too many Charleston White fight events. Man, I'd rather watch Charleston White events than these fucking Matchroom and PBC and Top Rank and Zuffa promoted ass fucking fights, sponsored by the WBC, WBO, WBA, and IBO bullshit ass title rankings and shit. I'd rather watch Charleston White put some shit together. And then Fred Harthar Owns You says if it was Wingstop versus Buffalo Wild Wings, Reggie would be tuned in and ready. Absolutely, goddammit. You're absolutely right. I got Wingstop all day. A 10-piece of motherfucking hot honey and shit. That's funny how that flavor done came through. I used to fuck with that lemon pepper shit. I don't even fuck with lemon pepper no more ever since they came with the new flavor. I sound like Baby D from Friday at the Next with the new cookie and shit. Ever since that hot honey shit done dropped, man, I don't even fuck with lemon pepper. I ain't had lemon pepper wing in like, how long the hot honey shit been out? Like 2 years? Man, that shit just, man, wipe the flow with that. That shit look like Xander Zayas versus Boots. That's how that Wingstop hot honey shit been. And then Around the World says, says Greg Hackett says was at the fight with his suit, says, and tie on. Man, I can give two shit about Greg Hackett either, man. I don't watch these damn dudes. Salute to them. I'm glad they making money. Hopefully they don't fuck the money up. That's the one thing I hate watching with these motherfuckers who make money. Do not fuck your money up, especially when you're young. And these dudes think from touching millions and being millionaires, especially from coming from being poor, of how fast you can end right back being poor through fucked up, retarded, unnecessary spending. Like, because with a lot of these athletes, you're going to retire so fucking young. This money got to last you until you fucking die. Because a lot of them ain't going to go get a job. They pride would not allow them to go get a 9-to-5 job. They allow the opinions of gold digging, high sedity, high maintenance, unemployed, pretty bitches opinions to stop these dudes from going to get jobs. Because they got to go spend that shit. They got to become scammers and shit. I tell that bitch, young NBA, whatever the fuck her name, shut the fuck up, bitch. And spread your mouth open. And then and let me say, it says, Reggie, your hairline is touching your back. Says it's bigger fish to fry. Man, that was not a funny motherfucking joke. And then Lyson Clear says this fight only proves that Boots is vulnerable. Says, and if says in a hit by the right fighter, says he's going to sleep. Yeah, he got to clean that shit up. Defensively, he is, I wouldn't say flawed. He plays too much. All that leaning back, pulling back, and wanting to put his hands down, do all that shit. Somebody gonna clip that chin, especially when he does this leaning back shit and his hands are down. Zayas just not the motherfucker to land that shit. Somebody gonna come clean across at a 90-degree and clip his fucking chin doing that shit. If he's going back like that, he's going to sleep. So I would like, and I want to see him fight Fedor, because Fedor can possibly do that shit, or he can possibly whoop Fedor ass. Midtown, but I got Boots against Fedor. I like Fedor. I think I'll take Boots over him. In the Midtown laughing that Fred Hawthorne owned you. And then Around the World says the building was packed. Oh, of course it was packed. Of course it was packed. Probably $10 tickets. And then Fred Hawthorne, because New York is on. New York, the NBA champions. Them fools is out. Them fools is out, want to be entertained. They're going to shit. The Puerto Ricans, it's a lot of them in New York. There's a lot of other groups in New York. And if Fred Hawthorne owns you, says Reggie just wants to be different. Says just say you couldn't afford the pay-per-view. No, I couldn't afford it, man. Can Andrea send me a check to buy a pay-per-view event, Fred? And then and the Fresh BX says Crawford's still the reason the fight ain't happened. Says when people ask for it. Was Crawford the reason why Boots fight didn't happen? Wasn't Crawford looking to fight fucking Earl? Wasn't Crawford going in to embarrass Canelo? Like shit, Crawford was leagues ahead of Boots. And then Andrew Charles says it was a good fight. Says if anybody disagrees, says go ahead and say it. Man, that shit was a good fight for Boots. All that competitive shit, please. And then Around the World says Crawford will be working the Mason fight, says as an announcer. And of course they're gonna be asking all that Boots shit. I think Crawford stay retired. Who knows he come out of retire. I hope not. I hope the niggas stay retired. Niggas say he may be like Andre Ward and say, fuck that shit. You know, I ain't about to be continues to be you niggas entertainment. You know, I'm chilling. His kids getting older. He preparing his kids. He's raising them boys, and boys is becoming something competitive in the sports they in. I think the kid is a wrestler. You got the girls in track. And then Around the World says Cotto was a top-notch fighter, says after Tito. And then Asian Matt says Josh Kelly versus Boots. And then Andrew Charles says you had a lot of racial pride on the line in this fight. I see, laugh out loud. Well, Andrew Charles, I don't know what fight you've ever watched me use racial pride in any of that shit. I don't base fights off of racial pride, but I do give an upper edge towards discipline and hardworking black athletes. And I think whites do that shit. I think y'all do it undercoverly because y'all play into this mindset of having to program yourselves and to think you sucker period and shit. That sucker primacy shit that comes up out of y'all churches, it filters into your home, filters into the old school systems y'all used to have, filters through the communities y'all have. And it's just this envy and recognizing of if a black dude is working hard and he's committed, he's studying the sport, of how hard it is to beat them. So I don't have to push racial pride. But that don't mean every black fighter I pick is the fighter I'm going for. Like, so I don't know where you get the racial pride from and shit. But I'm gonna pick a black fighter and shit. I think I'm probably more closely related to a black fighter from America. You don't see me picking black fighters out of Africa and shit, black fighters out of UK and shit like that. So I don't know where you get the racial pride shit. You don't hear me talking USA shit all the time. None of that shit. That is shit pushed by white folks and some black people who play into that, thinking it's a constant battle with white folks. So y'all get a lot of shit confused. This is why I be laughing when people want to add that I'm racist and all that shit. I speak the true shit that a lot of people ain't accustomed to hearing because you're used to the narratives being driven by people who've been selected to be the voice of the human of mankind and shit. The mankind in America, mankind over in Lithuania, and where the fuck y'all come from that congregate and collaborate these fucking opinions on who's gonna be who and who's selected. This other thing, because I was gonna do a video on that shit. I gotta figure out the title. That, like, when I watch a lot of this World War II shit, I watch a ton of World War II shit. And the most disgusting shit that I watch when watching World War II shit is the shit about the Jews and the fucking Holocaust. As if they the only motherfuckers to be killed in that shit. That shit's the most disgusting and bugged out shit ever. I was watching this other one, and I want to pull back up this video. Matter of fact, let me show you the one I was watching. And this mark on here, this time limit mark, not saying the word like a mark, like a punk ass person, how we say in LA and shit, but in this time mark on this shit, where they showing this concentration camp, and I swear there's, for the first time ever, I see a black motherfucker on this shit. And let me see. I'm gonna just share this with people. I always like to share certain shit. And this is called Life in Europe Immediately After World War II. That's the name of this one. Oh, this is gonna be the 25 minutes. I'll let this ad go by. This is the 25 minute and about 15-second mark on here. Hold on. Let me pull this shit up real quick. And there is a dude who appears to be fucking black to me. This nigga dressed in all this shit in here with the rest of these fools in them prison stripes. This dude right here, the guy next to him, they both look black. I don't know if they're black American soldiers held as POWs or what the fuck they are. But this is the first time I ever seen anybody that looked to be black in a World War II doc. Is these two dudes right fucking there to the left side of the screen where the people are sitting down, this black dude in a brown coat and the dude next to him, both look black. And this is them inside of a concentration camp. But the one thing they always highlight when talking about World War II is fucking the Jews, and the Jews die here. Like there was other groups of people that nigga persecuted and killed and removed and didn't want in his society anymore. Like but that's what happened when you get the wrong people that have always continuously run the narratives, told the historics to mankind's immorality and shit. And that's all war is. And then so Philip A says, yeah, my fault. Says Coda was good too. My bad. And then Lyson Cletus says this shows the declining state of boxing. It does. Says the entire buildup the entire buildup of the fight. The reporters couldn't mention any other attributes of Zayas other than him being a Puerto. Exactly. And niggas like Andrew Charles don't see that shit. That shit is the most annoying fucking shit. I watch these dudes build up with this shit. Oh yeah, Puerto Rican. Oh, you're from Mexico versus Puerto Rico, and then the Puerto Ricans should be feel disrespected by that shit. The Mexicans in them should be disrespected by that shit, but niggas is so dumb. They accept that shit. Motherfuckers ought to look at you and know what the fuck you are. That's even like a black motherfucker. As a black motherfucker, I don't need to tell people I'm fucking black. Then you better know and look and know what the fuck I am. Like, I'm a motherfucking American black motherfucker. America's not Europe. It's not white. And foreigners know that shit. And then Andrew Charles says, calm down. Tiger says it was just Boots versus Zayas. Says it's not that deep. Well, stop making it that deep, my brother. And then SF says they caught that motherfucker Verdejo, says dumping the body, shaking my head. Yeah, Verdejo's a bitch, homie. And I wish he was fucking dead. I hate them. I hate people like that, especially a suck-ass motherfucker who will take the life of a broad he was banging because she got pregnant. Are you fucking the whole ass dude? Because he ran away from his wife, scared like a pussy ass dude is. I be like, bitch, I done fucked up, got this whole pregnant shit. And then Around the World says why was you recording the Al Heyman phone call? Says laugh out loud. Says just kidding. Nah, you wouldn't find me doing no whole ass shit. I think that's the most whole ass shit for people that will sit there and record. Like, say you talking to somebody and shit, and they asking little whole ass comments and shit, and asking bitch made shit about people, and waiting to hear what you say while recording that shit. Like, only a bitch made motherfucker do that shit. That's the same shit. Remember that NBA nigga did that shit? That old bitch ass dude. What was that fool? He played with the Lakers. He did that shit to the fool on the arena show. What's the name? They call Swaggy P, whatever the fuck his real name. Nick Young. That dude on the Lakers sitting in there, he was cool with Nick Young. Nick Young was fucking with the white chick who can't rap, who got a BBL now, fucking Iggy, I think Iggy. He over there chilling with Nick Young, and they just have him talk like men who talk about bitches and getting pussy and shit. And especially an NBA dude where you go to city sitting bitches on your nuts. This nigga sitting there recording this dude while he talk about fucking other bitches and then release this shit. And then fuck their relationship up. That's the type of whole shit that motherfuckers do. It be dudes on this shit on YouTube doing that shit. I done watched so many of these dudes on this fucking YouTube shit sit here and talk about, they used to call it receipts, using terminology of a bitch, receipts, and then will fucking get on there and play recordings they didn't have from talking to motherfuckers. That's why it's common to see this shit. It's been common amongst for a long time. You hear what they always talk about with the mafia, but black people going through that shit for the long because of the mafia being fucking wired on. Of course, they was doing it to black folks and shit. Niggas would sit on here and record motherfuckers. You haven't read comment. That's why I don't do that phone shit. I don't talk on the phone like that. Talk to the homies ever so often and shit. Even the cats I talk to, we ain't on the phone for fucking hours. Niggas is regular dudes. Real man. You have a conversation, gonna be short to the point on some regular real shit. It ain't no everyday phone call. I've never been a phone person. Never in for the longest, I'm probably one of the last motherfuckers of my age and in my peer group to even get a cell phone. I didn't give a fuck. I didn't want people having tabs on me. Only reason I got a cell phone because the bitch at the time I was fucking with wanted me to get a phone, kept pushing me to the cell phone. My shit was like, you can call me at the house. You talk to me when I get out, and I still wouldn't talk like that. But the more me and that bitch got serious and she want to do shit, I finally went ahead and got me a cell phone. But other than that, I ain't want people keeping tabs on me. None of that shit. So these niggas on here getting niggas phone numbers to record and create bullshit. So that was just some whole shit. Whoever did that shit. And if Fred Hawthorne owns you says, what are you talking about, old head? And then SS City Sicker, even those who use little thumbnail memes and shit, thinking they trolling. I'm the king. I'm like the anti-venom of trolls and shit. And then SF says Verdejo was mania as fuck. Yeah, that shit was wild. And then the other shit, that's some whole shit. He had another motherfucker helping him. So it's another dude that's just that twist in his mind. He gonna help a nigga dump a bitch, and then when he get caught, he caught up too. Like weird ass, weak motherfucking dudes. Angie Charles says you literally have no national pride. Angie Charles, I don't know where you get this national pride talk shit. What is national pride? How about you think about shit that you say before it comes out your retarded ass, newly arrived to America, white ass mouth? What the fuck you gonna talk about national pride? This is the same damn country where these pieces of shit who ain't got no pride, no patriotism, America, but tell other niggas what patriotism is. They own kids don't even serve for this motherfucker. Don't give shit to it. They do everything to take away from Americans. They do things to strip away the history of what America is because the complexion of the motherfuckers ain't fucking palm-like. You don't know what the fuck you talking about because you're not from here. Your parents are from here and your grandparents ain't. You ain't never went through shit in America. You ain't never helped build up America. America's been an open door welfare system for people like you. So you better have pride in something for America allowing you and your family get y'all funky asses out the rut of fuck ups. You niggas don't know shit about America. And therefore you listen to a bunch of white folks crying about shit who ain't never been who have never had shit opposed to them by a government. One of the most powerful governments in this fucking planet. And you gotta be a retarded motherfucker to hear me speak truthful shit talking about I ain't got pride. I served in the military for this motherfucker. You didn't. You ain't got a family member on this fucking land that has served in the military for this country. Nor does Trump, nor does Pete Heggs, that nigga National Guard motherfucker, who have served in this fucking military for this goddamn country, who have sacrificed anything in this country. Like, get the fuck out of talking about national pride. Don't know white motherfucker talking about what national pride is. Motherfuckers are stupid in here. Niggas just be throwing out words and throwing out shit to try to fit in and look cool. Niggas be wearing flags on their shirt, flying from trucks like that shit means something. Like, you niggas look stupid as fuck. You dumb as fuck. You niggas is loser. You on that weak ass Confederate loser side, and that's the way your fucking thinking comes from. You niggas is dumb. Don't know two bits about what America is and what is shaped and what is built this motherfucker. Niggas ain't got no culture, ain't shit cool about you, ain't nothing inventive about you. Like, you motherfuckers is disgusting, homie. And until you wake up from that shit, Andrew Charles, you're gonna be disgusting like the rest of the motherfuckers. Talking about nigga ain't got no national pride. Get the fuck out of here. I ain't got pride for the motherfuckers that think they run the narrative of how it is to be an American. Get the fuck out of here. Like, I'm always stay true to true blackness. Not this televised shit of what y'all want black people to be because you like the behavior of degenerate black folks. I don't follow in that line, homie, nor do I talk like them, nor do I behave like them, but I still got a little bit of the vocab of people that come from the hood or America's vibrant, what is this shit with the hood? Where they like the hubs of America's center and shit. Like, get the fuck out of here using your retarded terminology because you think it look cool and nigga ain't got. I'm the truest ass American motherfucker. You hear talk on this motherfucker. Fuck you talking about. And if Fred Hawthorne owns you, says I'm blacker than black. Reggie Owens. No, just truly black, homie. Not a sellout black, not a self-hating black, not a black who causes harm to other black folks, not a threatening black to black folks, not even threatening to white folks. Only react in reaction ahead, not just being reactionary. I'm a little bit a step ahead of when to be reactionary on shit because I see through shit. So all that other fake shit you niggas be on, please. Nigga ain't no sucker. That's being true to being black. That's true to just being a man. Like, you motherfuckers is way out. But I know you just trolling. Angie Charles says you openly promote violence against our service members on behalf of Iran, says, but want to claim to have national pride. Angie Charles, I'm glad you write these comments to show me how retarded you are. You may sound cool and look cool in front of Pete Hegseth and Trump and bitch ass people like that. But everything you hear me say about the Irans and the service members ain't got nothing. Where the American service members at? Is Iran tacking them over here? Or Iran tacking them over there because a bitch who's giving orders for them to be over there is somewhere on a golf course with his little, well, he ain't even with the little prostitute bitch he brought over here from Epstein and shit, Melania. But the little coward ass, little punk ass water fountain building bitch named Donald sends them over there in somebody else's land, because it's a common thing that people of your motherfucking lineage think they can go and do in other countries. Like, you gotta be a fucking fool to think I'll support that shit. Just like I lean them and the people nowadays following that shit didn't support the Vietnam shit. Reds don't support the Iranian shit, and any other country that we go over to starting shit for some old piece of shit, non-patriotic American business motherfucker. Angie Charles, you better wake your retarded ass the fuck up. Slow ass white dude. You sound stupid as fuck. And I'm glad when you write this shit, because you want to sound cool for this little impeached bitch named Donald Trump, Pete Hegseth, MAGA, KKK, where the fuck, Confederacy, all that damn lost, defeatist, delusional, crash America ass bullshit. Now, you sound stupid as fuck. Maybe you need to study more what black folks have stood up for. And I ain't talking about gangbanging motherfuckers. I mean, really, black folks who really stood up for shit. And then Philip A says where that one nigga said that used to give history lessons on boxing. It's a couple of them on here. You talking about it's a couple of them who can get history. What's the name? Blood boxing still be on. I think Blood went live earlier today on this. You have. I ain't seen Scrapbook Boxing. I think that's who you may be talking about. I ain't seen his channel, but I don't be following a lot of boxing shit. Let me see. Matter of fact, let me see if Scrapbook Boxing still got a channel. Let me move this shit with the Black POW motherfucker. I'm gonna make a video off of that shit. I know I can't put it on YouTube. Let me see. Scrapbook. Is he still on here? Scrapbook Boxing. Let me see. Scrapbook Boxing. Hell nah. Damn, Scrapbook Boxing ain't put shit on this mug. He didn't get. I know he was complaining years ago about numbers, and I hate when I hear niggas complain about viewer numbers and all that other shit. Like, just get the content out. Fuck the numbers, man. That shit'll come along someday, but at least you got the content on here. That's all that matters. He ain't put nothing on here in 2 years. But it was like with Scrapbook, it was hard for people, I think, to gravitate towards the content because the way he laid it out would be like, a lot of the articles, him moving across a lot of the historic shit that he has. So he has this shit. And look, this is me promoting him. And them LBC niggas don't even talk about this dude. Was he have all this historic shit. And a lot of this is out of his own collection. You got a lot of the Joe Louis stuff, and this from a year ago. Joe Louis, breakdown of Joe Louis. Here goes the 10th greatest boxers of all time. Says the history and story of black boxers. This is probably like a real article or paper he had. Like, this dude has a lot of this shit. He's a historian. Stormy B-Man can be a historian, but I think he covers other shit. But when he talks boxing, he knows his shit. You have the Boxing Encyclopedia who passed away, Curtis Anderson. Well, I don't even know if Blue Blood even got videos on when they used to do the lives and shit with Curtis Anderson. And then you have World Breaker, who Curtis Anderson really started on here with. And then, because I remember Curtis Anderson even on my channel, but Curtis Anderson, because I started getting on my shit, clowning the cats in the LWC who he rocked with, which had a good movement at one point. These niggas just start being on some ass backwards shit, which is common for when Negroes fail to stay on some intellectual shit and just fail to just stay on regular shit, stop crying about shit, they lose sight of shit. And I get to clown it. I get to clown on dummies. Because all I want to do, I just boost niggas up. I want us to be intelligent. It's okay. You ain't gotta be a Poindexter and a clown ass motherfucker. Be regular. Be regular. You can talk the regular way you talk, but be intelligent. Stop being whiny. Stop being fucking divisive. And like I said, I can't stand that shit. I just think it's a lot of whole shit that motherfuckers have gravitated towards. And I don't know if niggas want to be entertaining for white folks. They believe drama and division is the way to make money, the way to gain popularity. And it's opposite of all that shit. Niggas just there in large numbers to watch you fall apart. Simple as that. You ain't gonna pay for that shit, ain't gonna do nothing. Go watch you crash and burn. And then Philip A says, but I wish Scrapbook wouldn't be caught up in numbers, just do the history, put it out. Maybe can format it better, but his knowledge on shit is on point. Or he should have just went live and had questions, people can answer them. And then Philip A says, where the, oh yeah, that's why I was answering that one. And then let me get these comments and get the fuck up off of here. And then damn, I'm way behind. Andrew Charles says why you says way to get off topic. Never off topic. I didn't cover the topic. I'm reading comments. Andrew Charles, you gotta pick up Andrew Charles, bro. You be so slow, homie. And then one day you're gonna get here. You just keep coming over here, you get there. Philip A says, laughing my ass off. Nigga 9 says you look like a sucker, bro. Laughing my ass off. Philip A says, Fred, you bliggity black. And then Andrew Charles says, keep in mind, says everybody that we're going down, says that we're going down the path. Says just because I said it was a good fight. Says it wasn't that deep, says, and that deep to me. Then why you say no? You only change your mind because of my response to your bullshit comments, bro. You think it's common for you to throw a comment in and think a black dude because you heard me say something about the bullshit of them raising this Puerto Rico shit all week. And then the dumb Puerto Ricans going there and making about Puerto Rico on the flat rather than making it about Xander's ability and skills. You can't win a fight saying I'm black, I'm gonna win because I'm black. Like niggas is doing that shit in the Wilder versus Tyson Fury shit. That shit, I hadn't implied none of that shit. But I was going for Wilder. But all that being black and this and shit ain't guaranteeing no win. Especially when you turn on a fucking trainer that could have got you there. And then the boxing scholar says they really thought Boots was going to lose, and they're laughing at that shit. Says, what's good, everybody? Yeah, these fools thought he's gonna lose because he's facing a Puerto Rican. He's facing Puerto Rico, and they thought Boots is gonna lose off of that. Like Boots would be in the ring. Oh Lord, what did I do? I did something wrong. I don't got a flag. I'm fighting the damn Puerto Rican who look like Ricky Martin over there. And then around the world says Crawford ain't ready to knock out. Says Crawford ain't ready to knock out Ennis. Says just yet. So laughing my ass off, or laugh out loud at it. Says Crawford is done with boxing and says in the ring. Yeah, Crawford ain't got nothing else to prove, homie. And Crawford's another nigga getting fucked over by the damn boxing. Let's say them promoters being away. Crawford's whole career was being fucked over, and then he ended up coming out victorious towards the end of his shit. Like Crawford's doing what he's supposed to do against the niggas they put him in the ring against. Washing these niggas, knocking everybody out. Then they put him in there against one of the top dudes who And then by the time he fought even Earl is like questionable if this is the best Earl. Earl flipped out of a fucking Ferrari that this nigga done crashed and shit. After recovering from the most grueling fight he had in his career against Sean Porter. And then that crash probably not even a week after the fight. After going through his recovery from that shit. So his body has been through some shit. And then he about to go on that when he come back from this shit, you know, like he walked away unscathed, like, yeah, right. He in a week to go face Pacquiao. He's about to get the Pacquiao fight, which they supposed to be, you know, past the throne and all this other shit. The nigga got pulled from that shit because of some damage from that damn shit with his retina. Philip says, peace to you, scholar. And if Philip says, the scholar says, I heard you and Ben crazy ass says going off on each other. Says, what's wrong with Ben, man? Man, I seen them girls going off on Ben and shit. It fucking Ben stays some shit, but that's the type of environment that Ben likes, and it is coming back to him with these chicks. That nigga crazy. And then Philip says, hell yeah. It says corporate has fucked over America badly. Says since the bank payoff, they did, it's been worse. Yeah, that's the problem in this shit. That's why I always highlight this shit about who is gaining wealth. These old push the button to buy, trade, and sell motherfuckers is the worst shit. People pushing government too big. Like, how the fuck is a dumb, regular ass motherfucker talking about how big the government is? You listen to a bunch of poor trailer trash motherfuckers who talking about the government. We need, because they didn't get conned in by some old white motherfucker in the suit who wants to gain power because it's still a democratic system. You got to win this shit through the election. And then you go in there, you manipulate the rules. You change this law here. You change this damn what is that shit? Regulation and all this other shit. And you open the door and you open the floodgates to where money pour in your pocket, you cut everybody else out. And I'll be going there and watching this. I was watching Christmas List, one of my favorite channels that does tours through towns, of going into Appalachia. Going to all these old poor ass, some of the poorest districts in America, all these white fucking communities. And they're the communities of the foundation of white America. Like what's the fool create the foundation of Black America? What's that damn dude? Tariq Nasheed created. There's a foundation of white America. And they live in Appalachia and the rural areas of America. They've been given homestead and all that shit. They part of rival groups back in the 1800s, white immigrant groups who given land and shit, didn't fight for nothing, handed the privilege to shit. As America looks forward to its expansion and creating new before they come up with counties and all these districts and other shit that was planning for that shit, is America expands west and let's get more white people, build some more of them slips, keep them slaves off that shit. We're going to act like we didn't change our ways. But the reason why we changed them ways because the black niggas and killed us. We need more of you whites to come here. We'll change the gun law. We're going to tell Smith & Wesson stop making these motherfucking guns because we think too many black people got them now. Bring the whites over. For every white family come over here, we give the white male a gun and bullets. They leave that part out. Go ahead and take this land occupied and become free land to you. Fuck a 40 acre and a mule. And so that's what they were planning for. And then so now these fools create this damn system that has provided privilege to these motherfuckers. The way America used to work. America used to subsidize shit. The government did everything. But so now you're going into this shit. So with the foundation of white Americans, I watched Christmas List. I watched this other dude. He did a tour in damn, what's the name? His name? Peter. Let me go back to my history. I don't remember these people names for this dude's channel name. Let me go to the other dude. Put y'all on some dope shit. Put y'all on the dope shit that the Reg be walking. Cause always gonna be food for your brain. God damn it. Let me see. This dude, let me see. He was in Memphis earlier. Hold on. His name Peter. Can't never remember his last name off the top of my head. Let me find him real quick. 1 second. There you go. Peter Santinello. That's his name. That's the name of his channel. Peter Santinello and his channel. And he's going through Appalachia. So let's bring this shit up because in these damn places where they talk about government too big and all this other shit, and then you go into these towns, they go through some of the conditions are deplorable for whites who Trump looking even just do it for them, but these ain't the right type of whites. Trump wants to put money in their pocket and change their status, find economic status because they're foundational whites. Trump is looking to get people more of with a Nordic European historical background and shit. Give it to the new arriving immigrant whites who come in here, they get jobs in the private sector. Not in the government sector, where the government should be providing the jobs. America should be providing, which the direction we go in, the advancing to where humans have to work for other humans, not robots work for humans, while money and revenue goes towards people who buy, push, and sell, and put government welfare money that they have been, funneled into their accounts for no work they've got given, and have the money to buy shares of some shit, and then buy, push, and move buttons and shit. And that's the way they accumulate their wealth. They ain't break a sweat, none of that. Maybe they stress out on wonder if the market crashed for a day and all that other shit. Get this weak shit the fuck out of here. There should be a crashing of the American private sector, being corporations such as the auto industry and all that shit that should tank. The American government should be expanded, and that's where jobs should come from in the direction of our country. Fuck these damn companies. Therefore, and as soon as America shifted towards everything becoming privatized, we end up in all these stupid ass wars. These niggas over here going there and think they can just pillage through countries, and now countries have other backings from other powerful nations that will support them and arm them, and they put up fights because they recognize what is the true threat in the world, and that being no other than America, when America is ran by the American business crook, a capitalist motherfucker. And as simple as that. But Andrew Charles and niggas like him who talk this dumb shit will never know that shit. And other niggas who've been dropouts and never paid attention to shit in school or in history or fucking around the world lack the ability to fucking think. And I hope my words offend you motherfuckers to start wanting to fucking learn some shit. But yeah, America fucked up listening to motherfuckers talk about privatizing everything. That's even what the big shit was going on when I worked at the post office, and why the post office don't pay shit. Because the post office at one time was a great job. When I went in there is when all these motherfuckers are going to government from out of the business world, getting the government, and then moving, shifting things to where industry takes over, and these motherfuckers lessen your pay, lessen the importance of that job. Because before, where a lot of the upward mobility of Black Americans and Black Americans are doing so great, thriving throughout the governmental jobs they get, and that was through the post office. If it wasn't for Black dudes in the military, Black dudes working through trucking, Black dudes working through the post office, a lot of Black people wouldn't have the shit and the ownership that they have for a while, until the trick of the trade coming in with the Reagan administration began to push that trick on shit. Like, but niggas is too dumb, don't follow shit, especially younger motherfuckers really don't follow shit. And they listen to these old influencer ass clowns that reshift the narrative and shit, because the influencer crown went to Brentwood High School and university, or Beverly Hills High School and then education. They just got to listen to, they went to Hampton Elementary School and Hampton High School, and they go, that dude don't lie, he went to Hampton. And then Around the World says, yo, Red says, check out the World Cup. And I already talking about hell no. And then in the Philip A says they're gonna have to issue some attorneys in boxing, says from now on. Says that's how titles should change hands. Absolutely. Even with the way, watch the way in which they just start crowning niggas with Usyk dropping all those titles. Watch how they crown the weakest niggas that's gonna go. Agate deserves whatever title he got, because Agate should have got opportunities. But watch how they crown the other belts that Usyk then dropped. And you're gonna find weak ass champions, the wrong people. That they should start, like you said, a tournament. The belt should be there. People enter this tournament based on their rankings, and they ballot up before you come out with a champ. So the titles that Usyk dropped should sit vacant for fucking a year until that tournament runs through. And that's the only reason why I will follow watching a motherfucker like Monster Anyway and shit, just because how proven he is through the game. And Around the World says, why did they have World Cup games in the Raiders Stadium? I don't know. I ain't watched that shit. They got the World Cup in Vegas. Said, didn't. Said, why didn't? Shit, I don't know. Ain't nobody coming to this motherfucker. I have no idea. I don't know shit about the World Cup. I know I heard the Iranian niggas complaining and shit. like they were cheated. I don't watch that shit. Trump done fucked a lot of that shit off if I was a fan of that shit. I don't give two fucks about the World Cup. And then Philip A says, if America makes it, to the title game, says I'll watch it. I wouldn't give a fuck if they made it. I thought the niggas lost. Says only other ball we saw outside of a normal sport was a kickball or dodgeball. Yeah, niggas ain't see no grow up seeing no motherfucking soccer balls. Like I say, so I know Philip H older than me. He definitely probably didn't see a soccer ball until the shit started coming on TV. I ain't see a soccer ball till like 92 or 93, whatever year I was in junior high. That's the first time I seen that shit, and it wasn't checked out of the school. The Mexican kids was bringing them shits. Angie Charles says when I was a kid, says my mom would tell me not to say I was Mexican because I might not get into certain schools. Says or get proper medical care. Says real talk. Says the 80s was different. See, I told y'all Angie Charles was in front of this motherfucker. I told you, and that's the fucked up part. And even as Mexicans do all this fake ass shit, and for Mexican parents to know what they did, they didn't do that shit to hide from black folks. They hid that shit hiding from white people. And when certain white politicians are in power, that Andrew Charles had to hide the fucking fact that he was Mexican. Because you probably got white blood in you too, Andrew Charles. But that shit foul. Your mother even had to tell you that shit, that you can't step out and be who the fuck you are in this motherfucker. Because it ain't black people oppressing you. It ain't black people saying you need to go where you came from. It's some white motherfucker telling you that shit. But now over time, because your mother has taught you that shit, you have become white identified. Your mindset and what you align yourself with is white because that's what you were taught. It was programmed in your house. So I mean, that's on your. Let me make sure I say this. When I was a kid, my mom would tell me not to say, "Yep, exactly." So always right with Reggie on to this motherfucker. And Angie Charles and be hating to hear that shit, but I'm glad you're milling it, man. You starting to break down, homie. Starting to come out with the real. You ain't gotta hide that shit. Keep it funky, homie, because I talk nothing but national pride. Light Skin Cleaver says, yo, Red says, did you see Big Miz? Says from the 90s growing up? No, I didn't recognize Miz at all. Because Miz is from that different 90. He ain't from the, I think Miz is related to the one homie. I think Miz may be his uncle. This my neighbor's brother who's from the 90 over in the Hoover side, but he be at Jesse on that nigga. That's the homie brother Daryl. That nigga Daryl used to always want to fight people. That nigga always used to want to fight, and that needs to be at Jesse Owens always fighting. Like we used to have all the kids that be trying to bully us at Jesse Owens. That nigga Daryl used to step. I think Big Miz is they relative, but that needs to always want to step in and fight. That nigga was always known for fighting. Salute to our who my neighbors are like cousins and shit to me. So salute to that nigga Daryl. Daryl used to always want to fucking fight people. Always. Even him and his brothers be fighting. Them niggas some fighting ass motherfuckers. They always want to fight. That's why I think I started picking up on that shit of wanting to learn to fight. But I was never a person that was like him to pick on people or not to pick on. He didn't pick on people. Daryl always wanted to fight niggas who thought they was bad. And Daryl wasn't one of them tall, them shorter people who always want to fight motherfuckers. And they love to fight somebody tall. That nigga Daryl can fight. But I think he related. I never seen Big Miz or know if Big Miz is at Jesse Owens. Like I seen Space Ghost. I see Space Ghost growing up and working out in the park and shit. And then Philip A says we thought they was tripping. Says until I saw Karate Kid. Says until I saw the Karate Kid movie. And then wait, why you put that one? Says we thought they had soccer in there. You talking about in Karate Kid they was doing soccer or something? Angie Charles says, not joking, says, get some glasses, bro. Says, you will thank me later. I mean, I know I need glasses. It's just my black ass got to make an appointment. I was at Sam's Club earlier and they got a glasses department. I always walk by that shit like, I need glasses. I'm in line waiting to do my membership again. And I'm over there looking at the glasses section like, damn, I know I need glasses. But my vision be bad sometimes, and then sometimes it corrects and shit. But I know I've been needing glasses. And the first BX says, so you wanted him to basically duck boots? Says, like I be saying, says boxing fans never happy. Wait, who the duck boots? You talking about Ortiz? Ortiz? Wait, who you talking about duck boots? Oh, you talking about Crawford? Crawford ain't duck no goddamn boots. H Matt says this Janice chick says starting to act snooty. Says starting to act snooty or supposed to be snotty. Says snotty bougie or snooty bougie. Says she gonna fuck around and get an early exit before sunrise. Look, every time Asian Math get one of these bitches he be paying for, that he be acting like he cracked, he got to announce that shit. And then he going to be saying, I asked for a picture. Man, I don't want no picture of your hoes, homie. He says, no round 3, says for her snooty ass. Says I'm blaming you, Red. Says she heard you. Yeah, that nigga, and then the agent called me, and I did hear a chick in the background. That nigga try to highlight he got a gymnast. Like, me don't say that shit, man. The nigga gonna say that. This old nigga think he a player and shit. This nigga, salute the agent, man. That nigga 60 out here with the young hoes, man. Wallet open and all. Now here this nigga gonna write me some shit. It says amateur gymnast says put nigga act like he in there smashing the bitch out. Get the fuck out of here. Nigga pay. They found a bitch from Kensington, Pennsylvania and shit. And then Fred Hawthorne owns you, says I married Asian, says I'm set for life. Absolutely. I wonder what's that's like, man. Man, you ain't messing with, like, I don't want a hood ass Asian chick if I fuck one. I don't want one of them old librarian, like bow her head when she talks to you type chick. That's what you got, Fred. You motherfucking Hasatashi ass bitch. And then Midtown says your stepdad is worst full-time. Says stepdad is the worst full-time job out there. Facts. They ended playing stepdaddy and can't get pussy and can't get a baby out the cooch. She is you out there taking care, paying for shit, and say you better not discipline my kid. You ain't his daddy. And then Angie Charles says the thing is, says when I click on your AI thumbnail, the algorithm assumes I like that shit. Says which I don't. Man, that's just a thumbnail. That shit ain't programmed to no shit. And then then Philip A says, man, is that Fernando Vargas' son? Says is he coming along good? Yeah, that was Fernando Vargas' son, but I ain't about to hype that nigga up like they doing because he the son of some former boxing legend. I think Fernando a boxing legend and shit, or Hall of Fame boxer, but I don't know if the sons are there yet. The sons ain't ready for them step ups. He can, if as long as they working and staying committed. As long as he committed, he could become something good. He can't rush himself like his dad did. Take his time, continue to build himself, challenge himself. He can become something. I ain't gonna take it away from him. Andrew Charles says Vargas look great. And then Philip A says, that guy was complaining. And nigga Andrew, look, here this nigga. Let me see. This nigga can't help himself. This old ass nigga can't help himself. He gonna send a photo of this bitch in bed. This old nigga crazy, man. This nigga Asian Math, man. Midlife crisis, old nigga. Salute to old nigga Asian Math, man. I hope to be like him. Much as I be clowning and cracking jokes, I hope to be like your old ass, nigga. I ain't gonna front. That old nigga out here paying, man. I'm about to be paying. How much you paying for that shit? What's the rate? So going with time value of money, I think Asia's spending about $200 on low budget bitches. That maybe by the time I hit that nigga, hey, that price go triple. Hopefully the economy fall apart, so motherfucking the value go down. These bitches gonna be bumming. I get fucked little high sedated Instagram bitches who gonna be giving that thing up for $40 by the time I hit 60. I will probably be tricking. I'll be like you, Asian Math, but 10 bitches in the room. And then Philip A says that guy was complaining about Usyk win, says Two Red, says dude sued them or something, says for stopping that last fight too soon. Man, Usyk about to kill that stupid motherfucker. He was about to kill that fool. He had there want to sue. Andrew Charles says Fedor got semen in his hands. Says his punches caused damage. That's why Boots need to fight him. Want to see what that shit is like. And the Philip A says, I used to hate Fedor, says, but he be whooping ass. Says, so I started enjoying watching him beat dudes up. You know, I liked that Fedor motherfucker. That fool, but he fight a stupid fight to be so tall. And then in the Philip A, but he was looking good in his last few fights with that jab. And the Philip A says, man, Spence fighting Fedor, says, ain't he? No, Spence fighting Tim Tszyu, who is washed up as well. Spence fighting Fedor, man, will be tragic, homie. Andrew Charles says, yeah, Fedor has exceeded expectations. And then even the fight when Fedor got knocked out by that dude, Fedor was whooped. That goes back to I was talking about the most devastating shit is when a fighter got a fighter hurt or dropped the fighter, and that fighter make the count, then that fighter run over to Rush to try to whoop his ass. That's what happened to Fedor. Fedor was whooping. Who was that he was fighting? Mendoza or Maldonado, wherever his, he had an M in his name. That motherfucker went over there, was whooping the fuck out of that dude who knocked him out. Fedor was dog walking that dude. And I think they was close to stopping that shit. That nigga rocked Fedor and then threw another punch. Fedor toppled over like a tree. And then he fought, matter of fact, he fought Tim Tszyu on his way back. Tim Tszyu was whooping his ass. Tim Tszyu was whooping Fedor ass. That's when Fedor was come back, which I didn't understand. How did Fedor come back and immediately go in a championship fight? And he ended up accidentally cutting Tim Tszyu with his elbow. Tim Tszyu ain't never been the same since that shit. Then he fought some old Russian who crushed his ass. And he says, I thought Spence was up next versus Fedor. Says Tszyu is a good fight for him though. Man, Tszyu ain't the same fighter no more. And then because Tszyu ain't been, like I say, Tszyu ain't been the same since he caught that elbow against Fedor. That's how, matter of fact, that's how Fedor became a champion, which I don't understand how Fedor got the opportunity coming off of that knockout loss to fight this dude. And then Jay Costello says, what is that? What are you trying to write? Popular says, laughing out loud. Phil Bates says, Ortiz been inactive, says too long. Yeah, he stay inactive. He says Ortiz ain't fought since COVID, huh? No, he had a fight, like a year or two ago. He came off of some win, then he immediately went into trying to sue Oscar De La Hoya. No, he tried to take a fight, and Oscar De La Hoya like, nigga, I own you. You better look at your contract. Andrew Charles says Conor Ben says my least favorite fighter right now. Says I never wanted to see him fight. Says not anybody. Yeah, he be wanting to fight dudes. Says when I first watched him have he had a fight in the UK where they put him against. He fought that dude who had the curly beard where everybody's knocking out. Then when he came out of that fight and he didn't call out no active fighter. He called out some nigga who was like partially retired to fight. And he stayed fighting these old well past their prime fighters. He called Chris Eubanks dumbass who weight drained himself and then fought him weight drain. This fool be felling for PDs. Then Turkey dumbass pays him all this money. That nigga is just disgusting. Kind of been disgusting. And then he be having this acting like he a bully. I be looking at his posture when he around niggas and his mentality like he think he a bully and shit. And that's that steroid shit. And then when he got in the midst of it, that'd be funny. I'll be laughing at what's the fool they call the one what's that the heavyweight dude in the UK? Then they be eating the Five Guys. Wilder fought him fucking I can't think of his name. They call him damn, what's his name? They got a nickname for him. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The big nigga out of the UK. He started shit. He be fighting everybody. That nigga been like 12 years past retirement and won't stop fighting. That nigga set it up to where, because Conor Ben had been talking all this shit about Crawford and shit. He had him cross paths, and that motherfucking Conor Ben motherfucking heart fell out his chest. That motherfucking, what's that dude name? Damn, what's the heavyweight dude name? Somebody write that shit. That nigga start calling him a pussy. Like, nigga, you a pussy. I fucks with that heavyweight dude because I remember he punked who he punked? Oh, that was Regis or somebody he had punked one time during a press conference and shit. Philip A says, I hope Buzz stay retired too. Yeah, he needs to stay retired, man. He don't need to fucking entertain these hoes. Andrew Charles says, I don't think it's fortunate. So I don't think it's unfortunate. It says we don't see more national pride from our fighters or fans, Americans that is. No, why should they? This is the same. This how, like, you don't got knowledge of this country, Andrew Charles, bro. American fighters have had the plug pulled on their programs that once funded the American boxing programs. Why? Because it benefited mainly black fucking Americans. Whites began to fucking find themselves being uncompetitive in that shit. And in these urban cities, the hub of America, you find them pulling all that money out that sponsor these amateur programs and shit. Now they scramble to find people to fucking fundraise and shit for them. So don't talk about national pride in the sport and all that shit. They're struggling to get into this shit because everything's been handed over towards the private industry. Oh, we'll take over government. Let's push the government out of it. Let's make it privatized. Same thing you see shit going on with youth basketball, youth football, all this shit. As the big sponsors have come along, the fuck out of here. And then Lyson Cletus says, cook that infidel. Reggie, yes indeed. Andrew Charles says, you have been corrupted by foreign ideologies. What you hear me say foreign ideology? You see me wanting to travel to a foreign country, Andrew Charles? That's why Andrew Charles be trying to come with his rebuttals to the shit that I be schooling his motherfucking ass on, and they fall flat on their fucking face. Where do you see me pushing any foreign ideologies? For one, when we talk passports, I think I'll get arrested for the shit I say about other countries, goddamn fool. I don't even have plans of going to visit. Yeah, Derek Chisora. Thanks, Philip H. That's who the heavyweight boxer from the UK I was talking about. But back to this Andrew Charles, unknowledgeable motherfucker, talking about corrupted by foreign eye. I don't listen to no foreigners. I don't rock with the culture of foreigners. I don't move like a foreigner. I don't think like a foreigner. I ain't into what foreigners are into. I'm an American. I don't talk passport shit to want to go travel to other foreigners' countries. I ain't get two fucks about their countries. I'm from fucking America. So I don't know where you come. You ain't even from this country, Andrew Charles. You have the national pride of an immigrant. You're an immigrant to this motherfucker. America has lifted your family up from where the fuck y'all have ran from because you destroyed it. Your feeling of America ain't one of national pride. You got appreciation of an immigrant. Simple as that. An immigrant should appreciate this motherfucker or get the fuck out. So what the fuck you talking about? But I love when you write your comments, bro. I'ma just school you, and hopefully other foreigners like you are watching, so you can understand what true American shit is. And when it's talking about a black dude who is about as balanced as they fucking get, like fuck up out of here. And then Asian Mass says, Reggie on point says these crackers are, like I say, I don't know why. Me, I don't use the terminology cracker and use racist shit because I'm not racist black dude. So therefore, as I don't think you ever heard me use the word cracker, but you're gonna hear me say it because this is an Asian math comment. So I don't know where the fuck y'all be coming up with Reg is racist, Reg anti-American, all this other dumb shit. Trump is not American. He's an immigrant. He's a birthright citizen. But Asian Math says Reggie on point. Said these crackers only have capitalist pride or imperialism pride. That's a fact. Says that's their only culture. That's a fucking fact. And niggas been electing these type of bitch-made motherfuckers. And that's the problem when Americans get fucked by electing these type of bitch-made motherfuckers. And then, but I understand it because every American wants money. Americans deserve to have money, but they believe they will get it from some old business class motherfucker. Absolutely not. And then Velocity Cut says history is shown that, but niggas don't follow history. And then Velocity Cut says, what up? Never wrong, always motherfucking right. Absolutely. My brother Velocity Cut's in the building. Andrew Charles says Kurt was a great storyteller. Says made you feel like you were there. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I wish those videos would get re-uploaded of Kurt Anderson and shit. And he says what a loss of knowledge Kurt was. Absolutely. It's just, and I think he was battling, what was that shit? He was battling fucking diabetes or some shit. Diabetes is a motherfucker. That shit's a motherfucker. That motherfucker health just declined, like all of a sudden just started declining. Maybe he just hid that because he never was really, yeah, he was on camera at one point. And then you just start not seeing him. Velocity Cut says, hey, Blood, says you always hey, Blood, you calling Rayo and De Los Santos tomorrow on Paramount? Fuck no. Hell fuck. I ain't calling none of that shit. If anything, I don't even think I would stream to look at that shit. Velocity Cut says Young Ennis trained alongside Prime Triple G years ago, says paying off. Fuck no. Triple G ain't got nothing to do with Boots' success. I know Box, that shit all to his dad. And then I know Boxing said, and then partially being from up in the area he's from and shit. I know Boxing laughing at Asian Math, says Asian Math is a player. Rob G says Asian Math 65 said no 65 mil. 65 tricking off 65 bills. Nigga. And then I know Boxing says Fedora is 6'7", says fighting at junior middleweight, 154 pounds, says that's a freak of nature. Nah, that's a nigga who don't eat. That's all that shit is. That's a nigga, you know, them kids that be hard to feed and shit, don't want to eat nothing, can go like a day and two without eating. That's all that shit is. Nigga ain't got an appetite. And then Nano Boxer says Virgil Ortiz says Virgil Ortiz's last fight was Erickson Lubin last November. And fighting Erickson Lubin's just a punching bag, too done to fucking retire once again because he is a boxer. And he didn't get the biggest of paydays. And once again, he's too young to fucking retire without going to get a job or maybe finding a avenue of making money through boxing. Erickson Lubin, and that's why he's fighting and going to fights and getting himself knocked out and all that shit is because what I was saying earlier, even the cats who make a lot of money in that shit, they got to be smart with their fucking money because you're going to retire young. If even like being super successful, Lubin fucked up rushing his career, rushing to try to get up to the money. This one to take the Charlos who are like top level fucking fighters of their division and who are too big for their weight classes, ready to move out. These niggas kept antagonizing him. Had Lubin just waited his time, let Charlo move up the weight, not challenge him, going to his fights, calling him out, trying to make him look like they were ducking, and he took that fight and got his ass dusted. That nigga ain't been the same since that shit. Him or J. Rock Williams, both of them fell victim to the Charlo brothers. And both was antagonizing Charlos when they were trying to move up from their divisions. Asian Mass says, free 99, says, and time is my only payment, says titties hoes, says nurses, track stars, gymnasts, etc. Says don't have to trick, says when you know how to treat. Trick or treat, that's exactly what you doing. You trick or treater. That's like nigga, a whole stroll trick or treater. And then Philip says, Red says, you talking about your sword. Yeah, Derek Chisora is the nigga I'm talking about from the UK. I fucks with Chisora. That fool ain't the greatest of fighter, but that motherfucker got heart and he be standing on shit. And then he just like to fight. He a dumb nigga who don't know when to stop. He don't know nothing else but boxing. And then Andrew Charles says, it's all good. Says, I appreciate the dialogue. Yes, indeed. It's always about dialogue. But knowledge is key to everything. And then Asian Mass says Canelo offering Floyd a rematch. Says after his Billy fight in September, shit, Canelo may get his ass whooped by Billy, and Billy may whoop Canelo motherfucking ass. But then Billy got to fight smart. Billy can't go in there trying to do all that overpowering shit because he got muscles. That's the way he'd fuck around and lose. He keep pressuring, can maintain that shit, keep Canelo fucking fearful of throwing at him. He can win that shit. And then SF says, I remember him saying his diabetes was bad. Says, never forget when he said, some days it feels like glass running through his veins. Yeah, that shit is, oh my God. I couldn't imagine that shit. That's why I be cutting back on that soda. I be like, oh, that shit crazy how just the intake of shit is what can harm you. And then why the exercise is so crucial. Because you just got to burn that shit off. You got to, the minute you stop working out, and that's the only reason why I put weight on. My weight ain't from fucking overeating, because I don't overeat. But when I do eat, I like to eat. I ain't on no diet. I can get two fucks about a diet doing that skinny nigga shit. I'm not skinny. But because I used to lift a lot, put on a lot of weight, put on muscle at the time, and then stop that shit. And that shit start to break down. Then you eating shit. I like the sodas, all that sugar shit, and that sugar just storing in your body. You're not burning that shit. And that's the difference. Now I'm back working out and shit. I just watched the weight because I'm naturally skinny. I just watched my weight come down. And I'm losing that shit. Just as long as I stay in the gym, working out, getting off of work, going to work out. That's why I want my son to get back from camp, get him back into working out. That nigga's slimming out. My daughter, she's just doing her girl shit, so I ain't even tripping about her trying to get in her gym. But just working out and maintaining that shit. Like I said, I used to be a gym fucking rat. And the minute I fell off of that shit, it was so hard to get back to that shit. But because of this little dude, and he wanted to play basketball, that shit, and me wanting to work to strengthen him up, I've been back on my shit. And then I read that one. But that diabetes shit is cold blood, and it's all through food. And the intake, what they look at sugar. But I'm a still drink sodas. I'm a still eat candy. I just don't consume that shit as much as I used to. One reason I don't, because of the prices, and that shit ain't worth the value they price shit at. So that's the thing that cut my candy intake by a lot. I'm a candy loving motherfucker. But I'm also a nigga who is a boycotter of bullshit from companies. I look at some of the price and packages on shit. I look at that shit like, you motherfucking bitches. Yeah, fucking right. Like, I wouldn't dare spend that shit. So thanks to these old corporate greedy motherfuckers, they have saved me. And then Rob G in there rolling. And then says, my name 5 says, how do you feel? Says, how do you feel about Chud the Builder case? Says, and would you ever do a live on it? On Chud, yeah, I hope they give that bitch motherfucker 30 years of life. I hope they in there torturing this whole ass. All that dumb shit he was on. I don't know what his purpose was. He's just a white dude who had no purpose in his life. He wanted to be an influencer and wanted to entertain motherfuckers. And then it was funny. I hear his heart was broken because he had a little bit of jungle fever and shit. Because I see there's a black chick that said he used to like her to put her finger up his ass or some shit. But so he was in love with her, wanted her to marry. He wanted to be a stepdaddy to her black kids and shit. But she was part of the game. She was the chick who seen a trick ass white dude and played his ass, and his heart got broken. So he start, telling shit because some black dude's emotional. You hear a white dude say some racist shit. A lot of black folks lack the ability to be witty. They don't got white jokes. They don't know how to offend white people. And Chug to get them niggas emotional and they get the crying and shit versus learning how to get their disrespect up and reacting to them a certain way. But Chug was scared. That's why Chug's first line of defense wasn't put his hands up. It was to run to his colonizer shield of protection, that being a gun. But then he got his ass bombed on, punched up, and then he pulled a gun out to shoot a black dude. But his pussy ass is such a coward, he shot his goddamn self. And now a judge who ain't giving his ass white privilege. That's why I be tripping when I hear some of these black dudes crying about the sucker supremacy system and how this and that. No, the system works, homie. It ain't gonna just benefit any old white motherfucker. You got some of the wrong judges and shit that are still within the judicial system. That's the problem, because niggas don't know how to fucking recognize the system and who to get the fuck up out of here. Is you got some judges in the wrong place, but these judges get recognized. They lose their licenses, get the fuck up out the system. But Chud thought he can do this shit and listening to other people with their poor information. And now Chud sits his white ass in jail with no bail. And the judge who is doing their job, and they're going to take in the evidence. Hopefully the prosecutor do a good job. And this ain't a piece of shit prosecutor who is prosecuting this case, that they come in with a failed prosecution and allow this dude to beat his case. But it looked like they accepted no bail. He getting $1 million because of followers who are willing to donate, who perpetuate this bullshit that his punk ass got to sit his ass in jail behind some fuck shit. And the fact he did it on the grounds of a court. So fuck Chud. I don't know much about him, but fuck him. Fuck anybody like him. The same way I felt I don't got no fucking empathy for that other punk who was doing Charlie Kirk shit, who got killed at the whitest school in the whitest state in the whitest city in America, Turning Point. Yeah, he turned his neck and they got a point put through it. And then Philip says you cut those sodas and the weight says you cut those sodas and the weight gonna fall off, Reg. Yeah, no, I like me a soda every now and then. There's certain times like when I eat certain shit, I gotta have a soda with it. It be certain shit, I be like, no, I don't want no soda at this time. But I be looking like, I ain't about to eat this shit with no fucking water. Like, fuck no. Like, this water would throw the whole fucking meal off. Like, hell no. Nigga, I'm about to drink a Pepsi with this shit. But it ain't a thing of like drinking like Pepsi back to back. Like, I'll start cutting back to where the most I'll drink of a Pepsi is probably 2 in a day. Or even doing it 1 a day. Ain't like how before when I was in Long Beach and I started because that's why I started getting on my squat, start falling off on my gym shit even back then in Long Beach. And I used to have, because like I said, I was maintaining my shape and shit. But I remember when I used to go to the 99-cent store, anything I stopped buying the sodas for, because I used to be able to buy at the 99-cent store right there up the block from, used to be on Long Beach Boulevard and 20th. There's a 99-cent store right there. For those who know Long Beach, I walk right up the street on Long Beach Boulevard and 20th to that 99-cent store that was there, if it's still there, and go buy me, nigga, cases, nigga, of soda, them Shastas. Nigga, they used to be like 6 for 99 cents. Nigga, I used to have my fucking little pantry thing used to be filled with motherfucking six packs, nigga, of Shastas, nigga. I have like 20 fucking six packs in that motherfucker. I probably have more than that. Shit used to be stacked up. Then nigga, I load up on nigga the ice creams. Nigga, I have like strawberry shortcakes, motherfucking drumsticks, ice cream sandwiches, and then the 99-cent store. This right around when the economy started to tank. 99-cent store start cutting the motherfucking sodas to like 3 for 99. The ice cream sandwiches and shit, they raised the price on them because I used to be able to get like the ice creams used to come 2 for $1. Nigga, 2 drumsticks, two the ice cream sandwiches, 2 for $1, the strawberry shortcakes, 2 for $1. Nigga, I was loading up on that shit. And I had a deep freezer in the crib. Nigga, my shit be loaded, nigga, with just snacks if I wanted snacks. But I used to cook, but then I'll be in the gym. Even when I stopped driving, this is how much I used to go to the gym. Nigga, even when I moved to Long Beach. Nigga, I hop on the train every fucking night, nigga, because I wouldn't drive down there. That's when gas started going up during the when the economy started to tank. Nigga, I'll get on the train, nigga, late at night, nigga, and ride the train to downtown Long Beach, walk over to where there's a 24-hour fitness in this in one of them towers over there, nigga, be in there working my motherfucking ass off every day. Nigga, I was a gym rat, nigga. And then when I had to focus on school, I had to start leaving the hoes alone a little bit. Focus on trying to finish school and shit and stop working out. But every now and then, I'll be looking back on every now and then, nigga, I get up. And then he went the homie, salute to the homie Roy, man, who coach out here. He had Gorman, he done moved out to Vegas too. He Gorman coach. But me, even with that nigga, man, because he was doing his football shit still too. Then we'll go to Long Beach State, nigga, hit the track, go and get my run in, go run like a mile or two with that nigga. Then it'd be day. I go up to the park, nigga, out there in Long Beach, and I go to the park and get my run. I go sprinting, nigga, run around. They park and shop, still maintain the shape. Now I be looking back on that shit like, nigga, always maintain staying in shape, like getting up, and that's why I'm trying to drive my son to just get up, want to go to the gym, work out, like just lock into that shit. But yeah, I fell up, but I want to chill. Like I fell off, like shit. Nigga, as long as a nigga know how to fight, that's all that matters to me. Shit. But you gotta be in shape. That's the other thing. You want to be able to be in shape so young nigga can just go from 0 to 100. You caught up in a fight with that nigga about to win, lose, win, or motherfucker your age. You ain't got to win to fight that shit. You tired. That's the only thing that separate niggas with fighting and shit. And that's with the Xander shit. Xander couldn't maintain that tempo, that pace, and he didn't have the abilities. Philip says, I got on that tea, says, and cut them sodas, says, and I feel a lot better, homie, says, for real. And he says, my drink was Dr. Pepper. I fuck with Dr. Pepper when they ain't got Pepsi. But I go to a place that carry the Coke, I'll get a Dr. Pepper and shit. But outside of that shit, I can go without needing a soda like that. Like I'm to the point to where how I used to be able to just drink a soda, I don't even be wanting that shit. I gotta have it with like certain food. Like, but if I'm eating, or I stay away from certain foods, or I feel like I have. If I'm eating like a steak or some shit, ain't no way I'm drinking that shit with no eating that shit and drinking the water. Or motherfucking like some people gotta have beer. Some people like, but that sugar, you just gotta cut back on it. Or if you're gonna have it, you gotta burn that shit off. You gotta burn them sugars out of your system and shit. And that's it. Or they even tell you like you can moderation, all that shit. But to see Kurt die from that diabetes shit, and it's something you can control. But a lot of people, especially in this other thing with America, where Andrew Charles want to talk about national pride and shit. So you have certain people live in certain areas, they don't even have the ability to go see doctors in this motherfucker. Some people don't even have the abilities to go to doctors. And we live in a country that trains so many of these motherfuckers. They have handed everything towards people based on finances, on you working for a certain corporation and shit, rather than providing the shit for Americans. So don't ever bring national pride in. I'm the truest American motherfucker in this motherfucker, along with other people may think like me, speak like me, break shit down in the same fashion I do. So Andrew Charles, you need to rework on your thoughts of America. I know you come from immigrant background, you have these understandings of what they have taught, but you gotta understand your family has come here and they have appreciation for what America had because you can go through their suffering in their country, and they did the fucking up of that country on their own to leave and flee and come here and beg to be brought here. They didn't have to sneak through gates and over borders. They were brought over here on planes and shit. Like, fuck up out of here. but always right with true American Reggie motherfucker. Let me play my motherfucking breakdown video one more time. Let me play my always right breakdown video, how this fight was gonna end before we end this shit. And let me see, where my video at? Where my breakdown shit at? God damn it, always right. Let me see where that shit go. God damn it, where you at? Where you at, video? Shit, let me talk my shit. Let me gloat. Here we go. Here we go. I'm gonna end with this shit. Let this shit play. And we out of here. Oh, wait, damn it. I fucked up. Hold on. Here we go. All right. Always right breakdown.
Right. What's up, folks? Man, let me give my assessment
Peace.
of this fight that's coming on tonight. This will be Jaron versus Xander Zayas. And people asking, am I going to do the play-by-play for this fight? I highly doubt it. I think boxing's in a place to where it's not even entertaining. To me, it's not even worth me giving my time to. I've been enjoying the other sports that I haven't watched in a while, being football and basketball, and maybe looking at older fights. But in present day, man, this mess is trash. You got too many promoters, one to be superstars, them being too bigger than the actual sport, bigger than the athletes that compete in it. The athletes are trash. These athletes believe they deserve Floyd Mayweather money. They ain't earn anything. Half of them ain't champions. Half of them just got a little bit of notice to their names, and the list goes on. It ain't even worth watching. The matchups are trash. The people who hold titles are trash. And then this one going on tonight between Jaron Ennis and Xander Zayas, like you see in here, man, I got Xander Zayas as a mop. And that's exactly what Boots is about to do to him. I've heard people speak about Xander years ago, and I used to always sit and like say to myself, like, what the hell do they see in this dude? Like, this dude ain't that good. And even in the last fight where he fought this African dude, an African dude came in with a Terrence Crawford type style and stuff. He didn't have the footwork and mobility to cut the ring off as a Crawford would have, but his offensive style and all that, which gave Xander issues, has Xander moving all around that ring. He faced difficulty in that, and I think the scorecards is trash in that. And this one, Boots is going to wash this dude, Xander Zayas. It's going to be a one-sided A-whoop. It's going to look like Crawford versus Spence. And therefore, I don't find no need to covering that. I just don't think it's going to be competitive. I don't see much with Xander. Can Xander possibly catch Boots? Absolutely. Boots sometimes plays around. Sometimes Boots becomes bored in the fight. Sometimes he becomes defensively very responsible. But is Xander going to be able to pull the trigger? Will he pull the trigger? Who knows? But I don't see him giving Boots any issues. Even if he's the rock Boots and doesn't shut the lights off on Boots, Boots can probably get up, recover from that, and go on and just mop the floor with this dude. And he may end up stopping him. So I just got it as a one-sided butt kicking. It's going to be Crawford versus Spence 0.2. But that's all I got. Or what I'm saying, 0.2, 2.0. That's all I got. Catch you on the next one. And I will be doing a post-fight, recap on that fight. But that's all I got. Peace.